Okay, I probably didn't select it properly. Try it again.
Keshe Foundation Ghana, in association with Ghana Atomic Commission and Ghana Spaceship Institute, would like to invite you to attend the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference, October 17th through 19th, 2016, in Ghana. Keshe Foundation Ghana's mandate is to build awareness and promote research into plasma technology. The Foundation is presently working with governmental institutions and other interest groups in Ghana to fulfill this goal. At the conference, you will be afforded the opportunity to learn about and experience plasma technology firsthand. The cost of admission to the conference includes 3-night stay in one of Ghana's prestigious hotels. Hotel packages include a single, double, or twin room option, and an option for an apartment or suite. Breakfast, tea, and coffee breaks and a buffet lunch on the days of the conference are also included. Keshe Foundation Ghana is focused on utilizing plasma technology to solve numerous problems facing the African nation. Come to the New Dawn, Africa's Meteoric Rise in Spaceship Technology Conference in Ghana. Learn about plasma technology and learn how you can participate in spreading the word about it. Together, we can bring freedom to Africa and humanity. And we hope to see you there. The Keshe Foundation is extending an invitation to medical doctors of any practice and specialty to apply to the Foundation's private weekly medical teaching workshop. This includes medical doctors, dentists, and veterinarians. Scientists of the Keshe Foundation developed different types of plasma therapies and cures that utilize advanced, non-invasive plasma technology. The weekly private medical teaching workshop educates doctors to the plasma science behind the therapies, along with the functionality and operation of revolutionary plasma medical devices. The goal of the private teachings is to add plasma health knowledge to the profound knowledge of medical doctors. The weekly class is broadcast live over the internet through a secure private channel every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central European Time. Presently, the class is only offered in English. However, you are free to bring a translator to the class. If you can't participate in the live broadcast, you can watch them later at your convenience through a private internet portal. Every patient's case that is discussed in the workshop will be kept anonymous and private. This includes cataloged findings and data gained from the analysis of the patient's health issues. Any medical doctor in the world who wants to participate can do so by sending an email to doctors@spaceshipinstitute.org. In your email, please state your willingness to participate in the medical teaching workshop. If you're planning on bringing a translator to the workshop, please state this in your email as well. After we receive your email, we will contact you with the instructions on how to apply to the workshop. As a part of the application process, applicants who apply, including any translators brought into the workshop, will be required to sign the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty, which can be found at the following web address. All applicants will be required to provide proof of their education and ability to practice medicine, and will also be required to pass an extensive security background check before they are granted access to the teaching workshop. Healthful plasma technology is here, now, the use of which is increasing exponentially on a day-to-day basis on every continent. We encourage you to come and learn about this revolutionary technology. Apply today.
Okay, welcome everyone to the 138th Knowledge Seekers Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And once again, we're gathered here with Mr. Keshe of the Keshe Foundation. And I believe he's ready to begin today's workshop. Mr. Keshe, are you available there?
Yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these knowledge seeker programs. There are a couple of points which we just seen on the videos. The Ghana, whoever applied for, please complete the application and everything by end of this week, or at least early next week. Till we don't get security clearance, your application will not be processed. This is very important. The Ghana event is a scientific event, and it's part of the structure, as we explained before, a regular scientific presentation of papers and knowledge across the world. This is the first one. Second one is in December 2016, end of this year, 12th, 13th, 14th, in Rome, where we have asked the doctors to present their papers on the first day, even if you go to the second day. If you're a medical doctor and you've done some work, or you're not a medical doctor, on the health application and you want to share it as a scientific paper, we open the doors for you to do. You need to submit the paper to us, or what it is about, that we can assess and look at it. We don't assess it, we look at it and we understand it, and you are invited to make presentation of your, what we call your discovery in this conference. These conferences, we try to make it as regular as 3 to 4 a year, that the latest development in the foundation work can be shared. What we do in reality is that we teach you in these teachings, in knowledge workshops, and in the private teaching, some 400 or 500 students at the moment in the teaching, and in a way you become graduates, you become scientists of this field. Be it a housewife, be it a scientist, you add your knowledges. You can show not only how the system works, and we want to see how the system doesn't work, where it doesn't apply, and what you see as alternative using the technology the way you see it. We are not there to silence the critics. We are there to show, in conjunction and help of the critics and people who see what could be is not looked at, what we need to look at, to submit papers. This is not to glorify the technology, but in a way to bring it in balance, that all the people who work around the plasma technology, not only ours, but the plasma technology, the way we understand it, are allowed to submit papers, submit knowledge, share knowledge. So if you attend Ghana, Ghana is more or less governmental presentation. We expect the President of Ghana and the Prime Ministers to be attending the opening. The invitation has been extended to a number of ministers and ambassadors in African nations. It's a highly official meeting, presentation of science of the space technology. We expect the same to be in Rome. We are inviting ambassadors and leading politicians of Italian government into the presentation of Ghana, Rome. This is the way we interact. We show the science, that the decision makers of the country can see the change physically themselves firsthand, from the scientists of their own culture, their nationality. So we expect in our Rome meeting to be followed with the next one, somewhere in, as we announced, in March, 1st to the 4th of March, in Rome, or we decide another location for it. The presentation in Ghana is mainly on agriculture, on the energy, and on the space technology. Very much we concentrate on medical application of the technology in Ghana, and we go straight away into collaboration and opening up of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing in Ghana. All the documents in partnership with the government has signed and sealed. The program is very simple. We are and we have become part of the Keshe Foundation, has become part of the Ghana Atomic Commission. We are, our offices, everything is set to be in the Ghana Atomic Center in conjunction, collaboration with others. We have not gone in there with just talk. Benjamin has been working heavily, showing every aspects of the application of the technology, one by one in past 8 months. Decontamination, energy production, health application. So we have established our point, our stand on the credit of the technology. And this is the beauty of it. So when we have the ministers and the high officials in the meeting, because they have already seen the results, now we are going, it's literally opening up the foundation from a scientific standpoint of view to a commercialization for the whole of Ghanaian nation. And from there, we move into other African nations. There is a possibility that the whole structure will extend back into Kenya. The Kenyan documents, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing and Foundation is already signed. So we expect the Kenya to be the next manufacturing and development research center. And then we go to Nigeria, which Alex is. We are strengthening our fields of strengthening Africa heavily. We expect to be in Sierra Leone within the next 2 to 3 months, in conjunction, collaboration with the Sierra Leone universities. We are establishing scientific bases in Africa, which means Africa becomes a center point for all the research and development. Foundation is heavily investing in Africa. We have to, because we see it as a point where the development of the technology is needed, and it will be much less what we call aggressive opposition. The opposition to Keshe Foundation, as we are teaching more and as with this spreading, is becoming more and more what we call centralized. We see direct what we call intervention and collaboration between governments trying to stop the spread of the knowledge, because they see it as a threat to their industries or whatever. This cannot be. We are not a threat. We are part of the structure. People inside are teaching outside. We had an unfortunate event in the past 7 days that one of the directors of the Keshe Foundation was arrested for 2 days, intimidated by the American government in Los Angeles airport. This cannot happen. Next time, if we see this, we release security apparatus information that it can damage security apparatus of the people who threaten us. You cannot arrest Keshe Foundation directors in airports in transit the way it happened to me, and this is a 3rd time. American government, you cannot intervene with the transfer of knowledge freely across borders. You cannot arrest directors and operators of the Keshe Foundation in airports, intimidating them, holding them in what we call solitary confinement for 48 hours to threat. We see in the same operation in Canada with me, now we see the same operation 3rd time in Los Angeles. If this repeats, we release security information which can damage the security at airports for you to know. We know more than we do. We respect your integrity. You have to respect the integrity of the Keshe Foundation operation. Do not interfere with our work of scientific level, not in other levels. The companies who work in the background to create this mayhem for us, we respond heavily by releasing knowledge that makes your technology and what you have invested on zero effective. If we come across any more what we've seen happen in Los Angeles airport in past 7 days, interfering with transmission of the messages between different Keshe Foundation, what we call personnels, delaying it by 3 to 5 days, and then releasing it after releasing the person from what we call custody unnecessarily, just to intimidate, we will respond with knowledge release. That's the only thing we'll do. We don't threaten. We release knowledge. And that knowledge will literally does what you did not want to do. Every time from now on we see any threat against us, we release more knowledge that makes more advanced technologies of the present time obsolete. We don't attack, we just expand the knowledge. My direct call goes to those who made this threat and carried it out to hold one of the directors of the Keshe Foundation out of reach of the family, 48 hours in Los Angeles airport, for no reason, just to trying to intimidate. We can release technology for those who made the arrangement to be intimidated back with technology that their shares become zero value. This is how much you have to know as we work as a Keshe Foundation family, how much we are standing pressures from different people. It's well organized now. The flight was stopped to be known. The transmission of flight and everything, which is kept controlled by us, that we know where every personnel is at that movement, was delayed by 3 days that we are not aware of. But they were not aware that we'll communicate on the other lines, not just on what they monitor. We knew exactly where our offices are. As the Keshe Foundation worldwide, we operate, our researchers, our office holders have to be free of movement. This is part of the deal we have. We share freely, we have to be free to move. And any move, any repetition of what we've seen, this is the third time by the American government interfering directly with the Keshe Foundation officers' movement or their families, I will respond with such a force of knowledge release that it will shock the whole structure. And I'll respond to you this way with what you've done to us today, this week. Keshe Foundation has reached and will release solid state transfer of energy. The Keshe Foundation researchers and development in 4 different locations in different operations, we have managed to transfer energy free. And we can replicate the system very simply. We are developing high transfer energy directly as a generator, and what we said, wireless energy transfer. Very much what Tesla did, but in a plasma condition. The plasma transfer energy can be extended, and in the coming next 2 weeks or so, we will show the whole operation as a blueprint. What we called the hybrid system is overtaken and overpassed by the new wireless energy plasma transfer, and it is extremely effective. In this process, we do not need to have any more wire connections, transmissions. It needs to be done, and we need one transmitter and number of receivers. The last stages of the development of this free, what we call a wireless system, will be shown. We can show you the process even now. The videos are there. The people who work in 3, 4 different locations around the world can show you the system. This is important for us because this takes all the shackles of the energy, and we can do with one transmission post feeding the whole city. This is not a dream anymore. This is the reality. We have managed to do 2.5 kilowatt transfer across a small gap, which now is transmitted to a sphere of the point. Now what we showed, energy transfer wireless, which was developed some 6, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. Now we are allowing the Keshe Foundation scientists to develop it independently. This is important. So we have now replication of what we said before, wireless transmission. And in wireless transmission, we feed back the energy we captured back into the generator itself to become self-sufficient. So free energy, which became the word of the past for explaining how you can create the energy is finished. This is the plasma technology transfer. Is more or less those of you who worked or work around Tesla system understand this very fully. With time and a position becomes independent. There are 4 different locations which are developing this technology in different ways on this at this moment. We keep 2 in public and 2 in the background, that the information stays the same as what we saw, we were expecting in Los Angeles airport last week. So what we will deliver, the hybrid system is super fast. The new systems are much more compact. The receiver and the antenna will be delivered in a very simple way, and this will respond back to those who were trying to push us to the point of no delivery and trying to slow the process. You have actually speeded up the release. We were not going to announce the development that we have achieved, what we call solid state and the transmission, but as I told you, every time we are touched, we respond with the love and care of more free information and technology. This is the only way it will be done. The process, what is interesting, what we've seen in the past week in the United States, is that confirmation that the technology given to TEPCO was 100% correct, and our technology was used heavily and is getting used by American organizations in the benefit of themselves by trying to cover up and silence our development. My response to the company who made the move with the American government against Keshe Foundation last week is as follows. We would like to speak with you. We have more technologies that can benefit TEPCO more. You sit on our lines. That's what we understood from the position of the interrogation and questioning. You are involved, you sit on the line and you listen to it. Now we tell you one thing. We have more for you to carry on to TEPCO and to make more money out of it. We help you to become richer. Blocking us is not the retaliation of telling something. We would like to give you more information. We don't mention the name of the company. It's just been sold for 360 million out of worth nothing using the Keshe Foundation materials and technology. Now we respond to you this way. We give you more. We give you more that you can make more advanced technologies. You making profit is our dream because you advance, you bring advancement to our technology. You have to understand this is the process we are looking at. This is what we are looking. Every time we get pressurized, we get hit, we offer you more. That puts you to shame in your conduct. The company, you know who you are. We have mentioned your name before. We have more information for you to become richer and make more profit with your shares in the American market. In trying to use our technology and on the back of it, trying to silence that you can make that nobody knows. Now everybody knows who you are, what you've done, and we have more for you to make more money. We have a number of announcements on the back of what we have seen. Those are you who are in alternative medicine and you are registered with your government and you can show to the Keshe Foundation health section, the doctors, that you are in practice of alternative and you've been at least for 5 to 10 years. It's not just that you practice, but it's registered as a practitioner in alternative medicine. You are allowed from now on to join the doctors at Keshe Foundation. This brings a team of 700 doctors in China who've been waiting on the wings to join us. And this way we open the door to them that they can join. These are the what we call the traditional Chinese medicine doctors, which they operate. There's a group of 700 of them. They can join us. We allow the full translation to Chinese for you as a group, as a secure, and it's the responsibility of Keshe Foundation China to organize this for us. If you're an alternative medicine practitioner, please, and you want to use our technology, fill in the forms, go through the normal procedure. We have to be, and we'll check through all sorts of ways, our security, that You are an operating, you have a long-standing operational system in respect to alternative medicine, and now you can join the application of the technology for the health application. We have announcement to make, and this is important as we are an international organization and we have become, in a way, as a structure of the independent, what we call a structure of governing ourselves. We have to share knowledge of what we have as a government of what we call one nation to the rest of the population. Keshe Foundation has shared this knowledge with national securities and international securities where we gather information. There is a high alert. Please keep off highly populated areas beginning from today till Sunday night. This is the only warning we give you. We have received information, and as citizens of Keshe Foundation worldwide, we have to protect our people. You are part of the Keshe Foundation family, and we look after our family. Our security information at the highest level has seen and reporting high threat in major cities possible. Alert is high level, and that's why we are sharing it with you. Keep away from, I repeated this 2 weeks ago, now the high point is starting from this morning European time till Sunday night. We have seen our alert stopping a process before, because once they know we know and we go public with it, it stops them from carrying out. The reason you don't see it, because by releasing information, we don't preempt. We show that we are part of the one family organization and we protect each other. We even protect those who are trying to help the others. Our intelligence is very clear. Please keep off major cities, keep off churches till Sunday night. Western Europe is on a high level risk. Some American cities are in the same position. You are part of the Keshe Foundation, you live in these cities, and intelligence has to be shared. Jewish community in France has been informed, and you will not see them in public till Sunday night. The whole of Jewish population of France, Paris especially, is off the street. They will not operate, they all be on holidays. So the Keshe Foundation supporters deserve the same. Please, if you live in Paris, Rome, Milan, Berlin, London, Manchester, major cities, European cities, just be on your guard. The level of attack is very high. International securities call it the full red alert. It means the attack could be imminent, and this means our followers have to stay alert. It's our job. We don't keep secrets. The way we share our knowledge, we share security too, that we protect you. Harm to you or your family, your friend, is a harm to Keshe Foundation. This is important for us. Please understand, we are not making a scare. We have received a high level security information and we share it with the family. The way we have shared it with all the securities in European and Interpol. This is important. Please keep off major cities, city centers, especially high-level tourist areas, high-level populations. Keep out, because we hope by releasing this, they understand, we know we understand, and we know the process. And we can release documents to you that if the Jewish community in Paris have been told not to be in public domain from this morning, applies to the rest of the people as well. This is important. When we release security information at this level, it means we are concerned. There is another point which is affecting more or less every single one of us at this point and this moment. We discussed this before. I discussed this again because we see rapid growth in this technology of using mobile phones. We see a number of you, a lot of people using mobile phones now with headphones directly into your ear. Research shows, and we have seen in our research, that direct link between the headphone and the mobile phone, you think you're holding it away, creates direct cancer in the brain and the operation of the brain. My advice, and our doctors team can give you the same advice, they're in the background, they can give you scientific papers, and we see it from our own research, that headphone direct connected to the ear can cause severe damage to the brain, especially what we see if during the conversation you get agitated, excited, or get angry. You create a specific kind of fields that in interaction with a headphone, or what we call the earphone, can create a point of high tension and leads to cancer. Please avoid using earphones with your mobile phone. You're concentrating the field directly into the brain. And this can be highly dangerous. 5 to 10 years can lead to cancer of brain. We see huge number of cancer on the even men who carry the mobile phones in their pocket. We see increase in testicle cancer. We see increase in muscle tissue cancer of the upper leg, which has been very, very abnormal. Muscle tissue cancer has been very rare. Now we see a huge increase on those who carry their mobile phones in their pocket or back pocket. Mobile phones have to be away from you in carrying, and when you communicate, keep away even from your head. If you can open on an open channel, you're safe. I know it creates mayhem, but on the other hand, it's your safety. We see a lot of young girls, according to what even talking yesterday in medical teaching, the rate of cancer growth is 100% for those girls who put their mobile phone in their brows and they put it near their breast. Breast cancer rapidly increases, and they say it's 100%. The boys, or when you put the mobile phone between your legs, you're driving, you increase the testicle and prostate cancer. When you place mobile phones in different positions near your body, you increase the possibility of cancers. And now the research is so heavy that the mobile companies are hiding every information on this level. Organization like us is responsible to release these kind of informations. We've seen a lot of people putting the headphone between their helmets and the ear because now they can ride freely. We see men who use these Bluetooth direct into the ear. You increase the chance of cancer by multiple. What we recommend from our research is avoid putting any kind of direct radiation like Wi-Fi, like modems and these things in the vicinity of your bedrooms. Do not carry any mobile in the bed or in the bedroom. A lot of people do, it becomes habitual, but there are consequences to directional fields. We absorb it. In the process, once we produce and develop plasma technology for communication, that brings a balance. We have to study that after when we develop it, because now we've gone into the free plasma technology, we see the balance within the body. Everything has got to be checked and developed and strengthened. We don't go out saying we are safe. We have to prove we are safe. We can do, because now the plasma technology is not directional, it's a balance. So the chances of any damage is very, very remote. In the present, what we call communication is one directional. It's continuous till it's picked up. In a plasma technology, transfer of information is a balance point transfer. What you give, you take back. There is not residual left to create damage. And this is important. We ask those of you who work around the foundation, work of the plasma, GANs and nanomaterials, test these and bring us data. Bring data not to us as a Keshe Foundation family worldwide. We have, and very shortly in the next few weeks, announced the Agricultural Center of the Keshe Foundation. We are talking and hopefully we'll come to an agreement in opening an agricultural center in Italy, where we will do research and development in conjunction with a group of agriculture, what we call the farmers, and we use this place as a point of teaching. It's called Oasis System. It'll be run by Giovanni, and it'll be somewhere near what we call east coast of Italy. We've been to the place. Giovanni in time will come, will announce it in direct position. If you are in agriculture, if you are in the seed production, if you are in what we call animal farming, we have access to physically and precisely assess all developments. So we announced the opening of the Keshe Foundation Oasis Italy, which in turn becomes the Keshe Foundation Agriculture Center. We are looking for those who are well trained in this field to join us. You become a full-time work in research and development in agriculture. Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Italy has gone into industrial production of farming equipment using plasma technology. The first systems will be released to the orders we received. And we have gone a step into, and we have established in Italy, we have brought people on a full-time basis for the establishment of decontamination, water cleanup, and the rest. So in that level, whatever we receive as our request for decontamination on the contracts on the commercial side of the Keshe Foundation, systems will be developed by innovation centers for the application, and the factories of the Keshe Foundation will produce. Those of you who are connected to Keshe Foundation application of technology for manufacturing, energy production systems become more or less minute compared to other application of the technology for manufacturing, farming, industrial use, agriculture, health, and others. We expect more or less beginning startup of these systems in the coming weeks. We will show units, the industrial units in the coming weeks will be shown. Those of you who are in the health business and you want to acquire the systems for your patients, Keshe Foundation Manufacturing Austria has gone into production. The systems will go on the Keshe Foundation website next week. The systems for parts, if you want to test or develop magravs and other systems, will go on sale that you can buy what we call non-nano coated as a kit that you can assemble yourself and start teaching and developing your system. There's a discussion about the two different type of manufacturing which we have, as each manufacturer works independently. We have seen the operation of the magrav system reduction 70% in Arizona. And they have repeated the technology for the second time using the third core, or third, what we call magrav system, and seeing a bigger reduction up to about 80–85%. We tested the same combination of the system with the Italian manufacturing, and we do not see it. The people who follow the Keshe Foundation in the UK, they tested it using the 60 Hz frequency. They do not see the same reduction. This is correct. We have found out why in some systems do work. The reduction in Arizona is continuous. In Keshe Foundation development in Italy is, in a way, the reduction is not so much, it takes longer time. We have found out the difference in the process. We are repeating the process in Italy by Monday, hopefully Tuesday latest, and we should see the same performance as Arizona. This is important as part of the structure of the development of the technology for our wireless transmission. I have explained that to the innovation groups, past 2-3 days, and we're working on that target. So as we've seen, we thank the Keshe Foundation supporters team who were in Rome, and they took the same principle, took it back to England and repeated it. It is correct. We don't see the reduction the way Arman showed it in Rome. We don't see the reduction we tested in the Rome labs, in Italian laboratory. We repeated, we redeveloped the technology again. And now we understand the difference between the two systems, the American system and the British, what they call Italian system. And we release it to you because it's applicable, that instead of what has happened in Arizona, waiting to what we call nano-coat the system, you can directly use the system itself, which is nano-coated, to start the process directly. In a way, we bring it off the wall into the system. This is important because, as I said, we are open structure technology developing company, organization. What we see, we are openly allowed to show why it's not working, and we've seen those who immediately took the opportunity to show their hand that this and that. We have to tell you, we were infiltrated heavily by the Jewish lobby, and they came from Hungary. They infiltrated at a very high level. I was part of the same organization. We saw the attacks on Keshe Foundation a few months ago and then disappeared. They embedded a very high level Jewish hidden background in Keshe Foundation, thinking we don't know, but we already had an intelligence report, became part of the, what they call themselves as directors of the Keshe Foundation. Extremely well hidden in the Jewish lobby, and we have seen him be moved out of the Keshe Foundation very smoothly, in finding him defrauding people in Hungary by 260,000 euro. All the documents will be submitted to courts, as the application submitted to Keshe Foundation was by deception and fraud. We waited for mispresentation, and then we waited for them to submit lawyers' papers that we could actually get them with their own act. The gentleman has defrauded Knights of Malta by 260,000 euro and was kicked out of the Knights of Malta. But in fact, the cover was, he is Jewish background with illegal activities, and we had all the information. We had to wait till the application submitted on our security levels that we could take action. We welcome the Jewish lobby. You are part of us. But you have to understand, using people to trying to create mayhem in Keshe Foundation does not work. We are one family, we work very openly, and our security apparatus works highly intelligently in the background. Does not matter if you call yourself sir, which you don't deserve because you never carried it. We talk to all the highly influential groups, Masons, Knights, Malta, security services, and we freely share knowledge, and they share knowledge with us. Those who accuse us of all sorts of things by becoming part of Keshe Foundation, not knowing that we know that they have defrauded their own Knights by 260,000 euro, and they are on the list to be for criminal activities and illegal activities. They thought they can disgrace the Keshe Foundation, but we did not show our hand what we had till they made their move. Knights of Malta refuses any connection with the people who call themselves and bear the tag, and then they say they tried to kill them. It's a great accusation against one of the most well-organized orders, and they will respond according with the Keshe Foundation together in this respect. We keep our books straight, but we do not explain why and how we do things. So we don't allow thieves to come in and try to create mayhem. We accept your words till we have our documentation proving otherwise. And we have found, and we have enough access to information, and we will collaborate with the Knights of Malta to prove the infiltration of the Jewish lobby under the name and deception and false application information, which allowed them to come in, and then we found out there was no threat, but it's all made up to come in. Please understand, we do these things to protect you, because in protecting you, we protect the foundation, and the same with everything else. We have to explain the understanding of the technology. We have to add to the technology and do not allow others to disturb us, but we all have to be aware of it. In plasma technology, you have to be able to understand the process of transfer of energy. You have to understand the process of how technologies are carried out, how is received, how it perceives to be received, and how you have to change the understanding between the field and the plasma. The beauty with the present condition in the world of technology and science is that we understand a lot of the work of the energy, but we work on field only than a plasma. If you could transfer the knowledge of the field into a plasma, you will find out that your system can work much more efficient. Let me explain the change or the principle when we call a field and when we call a plasma. A field is one way, one directional. A transmitter transmits information out. That's a field. When we speak about the plasma, it means once the field is received, is returned back with different strength information or field to where the source came from. So the difference between the plasma to us as a scientific information and as a field information of a plasma is very, very clear. When you transmit an information from a mast, from a transmitter, you release a field. You don't expect to get it back. And if we get it back, we call it the radar. We have a radar system. We see what comes back, what reflects back. But in plasma technology, we don't wait for reflection. We wait, we measure the feedback, what is received, what is used, and then what is returned to keep the balance, the line of communication. This is a difference between a plasma and a field. Return feedback from the same field strength. One of the things, if you understand this, will make life very, very easy for all of you in every aspect of the Keshe Foundation research and development. You feed the plasma from your coil with the cancer tumor in between to another field coil transmission. And what it goes from one to another, it gets passed on, and it's the feedback. This is how much I used, this is the residual I don't need. And in that process, you empty the cancer cell from its energy. You give in magnetical, you receive in gravitational. And this needs two systems, three systems. You can have multiple systems. This is the definition between the radiation, definition between transmission of field and a plasma. This is important. This is absolutely vital for you to understand where we come to define the new understanding. It's a feedback of the same using the gravitational or magnetical. We take from magnetical of one, we give to gravitational of the other. Translate this from what we call a system like a medical unit, which you see, to a transmission of the wireless. You need to feed from the magnetical side of your transmission to be able to receive by the gravitational of the other system. We don't keep technology and information out of your sight or out of your knowledge. We give you to develop it that you can pass the information on. I explain this very simply, if you understand. The more knowledge we give you, the more you receive, the more space you open in the knowledge of the man to receive, to share. And this is your responsibility as Keshe Foundation followers. You don't follow a religion. You follow the ethos of correctness with yourself and your soul. Your religion is you. Your temple of believed correctness is your soul. You don't need to go to a mosque. You don't need to go to a temple. You don't need to go to a church. We bring the church in the house of the man, in the soul of the man. We give you knowledge, share it like a prophet with the others, and then you receive more message that you can share more. It's not our weakness that we share knowledge openly. We know the truth and the fact about, by sharing it openly, we receive as a family more that we can receive and be enlightened by more. It's not the fear of sharing, it's the joy of knowing that we have more to give. As we receive more, that we can give more. It's a different school of thoughts. It's a different path of belief. It's a different path of work, and it's a work the way it's done in the universe. This is why the present structure governments are totally confused and they see us as a threat, because they are used to protecting what they have not realized. By delivering, you receive more. This is why we never become a religion, we never become a church, we never become a temple, because we moved the religion, the temple, the church into the house of the man, which is his soul. Look at the Prophet of God. They received the message, they shared, and by sharing, their number grew to millions. Now we are millions sharing millions of knowledge. We become sharing with billions, and when we share, it's not that we receive information from the universal community, we become part of universal community to share our knowledge with what we understand, which can add to the totality of the knowledge. As I always say, when we take man to space, we won't take man as subordinate. We take man as equal. Do not think that everything has to come out from the space or universal or aliens. Part of the knowledge which man has developed is advantageous to the other creatures of the universe. So we are not going in as subordinates. We are going in, we have something to give too. And they appreciate it because not they received and have all the knowledge in the universe. We are part of the jigsaw as a human race. And part of the structure is that we have to learn. The more we share, the more we receive to share. Keep your channels of teaching open. Teach freely. And whenever it's needed, it will be there to support. And if it is not there, it means there is something not right yet. Something has not come together to gel. All the information is not in the package. Don't be afraid of opposition. Don't be afraid of threats. Because the time they spend to oppose you and make threats, you have gathered more energy, more knowledge to be more advanced. By the time they hit nowhere, because you already left the position. Share the way we share. Share knowledge freely. Because by sharing it the way what we see on the internet, it brings you a lot of joy, because it's the giving that brings you more information and brings you enlightenment. Human race is not behind with everything else in the universal community. They come here to learn from us, because this planet has a lot of assets, has a lot of information, which has been missing from the universal community. One of them is loving, one of them is sharing. The way human love is very rare. They don't come here to take technology. They come here to share how these people can connect such a way, because our structure is slightly different. They change the structure of their existence to us to feel what we feel as humans. It's not that we are the takers, we need the aliens to teach us. We have a lot to teach to the aliens, which we ourselves are becoming one in respect to the others. Understand the process. It's just different tools. Understand the difference between a field and a plasma. As I said, the teaching is complete. Now is for you to understand the process of the application. In the present communication system, you have a receiver, and then you have to generate energy to send what you want back. In plasma technology, what you receive, you add to in a different format and you send it back, which means you use the same. It's less energy needed, less equipment is needed, less knowledge of transfer is needed. So for most of you who work in the energy or medical or whatever aspects of technology, if you understand this process, it'll be very easy to build wireless systems. But understand how you have to position your wireless system, how you have to work as one integrated system. Tesla was a prophet in the knowledge of science. He gave the message in the right way, but he only understood the fields. He could not extend the knowledge into plasma. As I've said in the past, and I'll repeat again, the prophets of the future will understand both the ethics and the science, and they teach the use of science with ethics. It's not like past, you wash your hand, you pray this, you don't do wrong. And it's not like Tesla that you connect this coil with that coil. We bring the two prophets of science and ethics together as one. And this brings the application of the technologies which they bring in the future, or your understanding, in the ethos of using it. And it has to be your conduct too. When you develop a technology, you see a line, you share it, explain the ethos of what you expect from it, and that'll become your wish becomes your command. I like this technology, this apparatus, this knowledge which I have received and added part of my energy to be used for peaceful application and no others. It shall be done. Learn to interact your physical understanding of the systems, making of the system, with ethics of your soul. You will find out you develop very rapid. You will receive more enlightenment and you understand the process of it, because you have committed yourself in harming no one, which means you won't steal from no one. Try to understand how fields interact. We go into the depth of the knowledge, but the simplicity. Try to understand how the potential of one leads to current flow of the other. This is what I see missing in most of your work. In one of the teachings a few weeks ago, if you go and check, I explained the balance, the potential difference. This potential difference is applicable in every condition of plasma technology. Look at your plasma. Look at your amino acid. Look at understanding of the work of the amino acid. Understand it on a potential difference. Do not look at it as a chemical reaction. Then the things will change. Can I share the screen, please?
Go ahead, Mr. Keshe.
Oh, this is, oops, okay. If you look at your amino acid, you have carbon, you have nitrogen, you have oxygen, and you have hydrogen. If you look at this, you look at it as a chemical interaction. Look at it as a plasma transfer. The ground is hydrogen. Potential difference is the plasma of all the elements, neutron, proton, electron, and the shell itself of carbon, of nitrogen, of oxygen. Then the totality in respect to the minimum has somewhere here a potential. Do not forget, these are order of magnitude. The potential difference here is that much. The potential difference here is that much. The work of the universe is not chemically, it's potential plasma level strength difference. You have to understand that the system is highly effective, and that's how it works. You have to have, if you didn't have hydrogen as a base level potential balance comparison, you would have never been able to connect the other elements together in comparison and near enough create life. Repetition. Enclosure in the system, what we call amino acid. You have to understand the same thing again if you extend the knowledge a step further. I've lost this. I'll do it here. You have the same process. Upper atmosphere. Earth. The center of the earth. In respect to the center, very low potential. In respect to the sun, extremely low magnetical. But in respect to the center, very high potential. Interaction of the two fields of the sun and the earth creates this, what we call the shell, where the balances of all the elements occur. Why we have a thick layer of interaction of the fields between the earth and the plasma of the sun is because we are mono element in the atmosphere of a specific area, but we are composite in the center. So the composition from hydrogen to plutonium creates different layers of interaction of fields on the upper atmosphere. And this interaction allows a combination of elements to be attracted according to the friction onto the planet. If you understand more, and you understand this process, you will understand something very simple. You remember the old song, "It's raining? From the sky rains gold. From the sky rains plutonium. From the sky rains nitrogen. From the sky rains oxygen." Because the field interaction of the matter elements within the structure of the center creates a composite field interaction. And that composite field interaction creates a GANs of it, plasmatic field of it, and when it comes in interaction with the matter state of the earth, will convert to that. We see built up on layers by layers on different parts of this planet. Where do these layers come from? Why only we get sand on the desert? Why we get in certain places only gold? Why do we get nitrogen continuously? Now that we understand more depth in the knowledge of the plasma, we have to understand and open our eyes to the total truth, not what we have been made to believe. Where do you think these stackers of dust appears layer by layer and different color layers? In different condition in the atmosphere of this planet, in interaction with the what we call the shell plasma of the solar system and the shell plasma of the galaxy and the shell plasma of our universe, continuously these frictions of different fields rains upon man on this planet, everything you can ever imagine. And when they come in touch with the matter state of the earth, they become matter as we see it. This addition of the strength of the matter on this planet, it puts pressure on what we call the solid state part of, or what we call the continents. And this itself, addition of continuous mass, puts pressure on the magma and puts pressure on the central core, which changes the field strength and the compression of the fields on of the planet. Every year, tons, megatons of matter rains upon this planet. And this itself creates pressure on the magma, and it creates in magnetical gravitational pressure onto the center core. And that allows and fields increases and loses more into the atmosphere, because now you're squeezing the orange. And that release reduces the gravitational magnetic field of the planet and pulls it more to the center, which is the sun. In that process, we'll see as the elements are created, part of them, like oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and the others, they go through the same transformation as they go as amino acid on the planet. And this leads itself to creation of life above us. Every day we breed animals from the upper levels, but we've never been aware of, because we thought we are the last. I explained this in the teaching, and now I explain it in the public teachings that you understand more of. As we've seen life with us as humans on the planet, we've seen life as the fish. We see life in the inner circles of the planet according to the level of the structure of the fields arrived. Life exists above us. As I explained very simply, the fish at the bottom of the sea, the bottom eaters, they absorb whatever falls from the top. In fact, us human beings have become the bottom eaters of the gas level. There are life, composite life, but without the structure of physicality living above us. And when they die, or when they reduce in the strength that they become lower level, we breed them in. And this has an ethic to it. Thou shalt not kill. Our breeding is killing of the other creatures. Our life process, the energy we absorb, is by, in a way, digesting other lives. We are the bottom of the stack of the gaseous planet section. So whatever is created here does come land. The same as where the fish dies on the top and is not consumed, goes to the bottom, and the bottom of the sea creatures eat what it comes down. Otherwise, the oceans will be a rotten pot. This is what man has to understand, the truth about the creation, not thinking that he is the ultimate. We are actually the bottom eaters of what is above us and creates life. If the amino acid could be created, that is interaction with the water and the salt leads with the matter state to the physical life of the man, so the gaseous part has its own structure, has got its own life. We have to respect that. This is why I go on teaching, thou shalt not kill. Our breathing system is a killing machine of the creatures up above. Or what it falls with less energy, they still have existence life. It's very hard for those who don't understand to criticize, but that does not change the truth. Life exists in every level. And our process of life is the same in the galaxy, in the universe, in the solar system. This is why we encourage for understanding of the absorption of the field, because it says, thou shalt not kill. Our breathing is a process of killing. The way we kill other animals to eat physically for our physical side. When a man learns in totality how to absorb energy, what is available, man will find a peace with himself. What we did not want to know, what we always denied to know, and what we went opposite to the teaching was, thou shalt not kill. Our breathing system, our feeding system, being a vegetarian, being a meat eater, being whatever you call it, is a process of ending another life to take the energy it has stored for our survival. NASA, other space agencies have shown this life. I've repeated this many times. Now that we understand the process of the plasma, is for us to understand the next step in the space technology. We start the teaching of the what we call motions in coming weeks. We announce very shortly the position of the training. There are a number of people who have applied to become motions. Some of you have already paid. Please complete the full process within next 10 days. You'll be called where to attend, how to attend, and by what we said in autumn. Beginning of autumn is today. We have people from Jewish background who apply to become motion. We welcome you. Take a piece to your what we call the spoken language. We have people from other path of belief and life who have joined the Keshe Foundation in the training of motions. We welcome you, but teach the ethos of a space through your culture, through your language, to your people. There is a big problem in the space technology and teaching. Till we don't bring peace to the tribe of Moses, they would not leave us in peace. And this is what we have to do. We showering them with love and care will change the path of their work. Understand, we cannot destroy and we cannot kill. We can only share what we have, we want to give, that those who have, they give to us. I was teaching very recently, and I said, theology and science at this level cannot walk apart, they go hand in hand. Is in the writing of Christ. It was supposed to be in the tablets which were given to Moses. Thou shalt not kill. How come the Jews and the Christians are the manufacturers, planners, designers, executors of all the killing machines, planning of wars? This is against the ethos of what you believe in and what was given to. That is why both are condemned and condoned. It's in the writing of Christ, bless his name, thou shalt not kill. We kill breathing, We design machines to kill, and then we say we're Christians. Shame on man and the leaders who abuse the name of Christ. Europe is not, as French president said, a Christian club. Christ shared his bread and brought peace. And what we see exact opposite with Vatican. This is the change of point for Vatican II and the Christianity. Work by the ethos of the Christ, by the rules of his conduct, by sharing the knowledge as is the bread, by sharing the blood which is his soul, you'll find out humanity will change. Everything written in the holy books is done exactly opposite by the man, and then say we have Christ, because you are taking more than what you are giving by stealing. Thou shalt not kill. The most advanced weapon technologies for killing are manufactured by the Christians. All the planning of the killing, mass murders, wars, planned by the Jews, opposite to the writing of the tablet of Moses. Then you still expect to see peace? Impossible. Now we bring that balance to force it to be done, that the man forgets and goes back to the teaching of the Christ. You have to understand, balance comes out of peace. Peace in mind, peace, balance in emotion, balance in knowledge and science, and technology, and understanding the application of it. Understand what you take, if it's correct, will come out as a knowledge to the others. What you steal, you have to pay back with the losses in your own dimension. If you're a Christian and you develop my technology, you have to live by the law of the foundation and by the law of Christ. You have to make sure the knowledge you received and you developed has to be on the basis of his work, because you have committed your soul on the path, the road to the Creator through Moses and Jesus, and their soul, not their physical life. You condition it, thou shalt not kill. You give the knowledge the way he shared his body and his blood, which is his physicality and his soul. Go back to the teaching of the foundation. This is my blood. This is my body. Blood is path to the emotion. And all the teachings, medical teachings we teach. And that's the path to the soul of the man. Physicality is the body, which we share the knowledge in physical term to change. And that's where it stands. You have to be aware of what is and how you apply the technology, and how you make it your wish, and how you understand your wish will be your command in this is what I want and this is what will happen. Understand what you have committed yourself in application of the technology and what you want the technology to give to you in its application. Then you find the balance. The machinery and the reactors is all what I call a show. Because you need to see physicality, tangibility to confirm the existence of it. Otherwise you don't believe even in yourself. It's beautiful when we see people sharing knowledge so openly, the latest ways on the internet. We have the tools to share. And we see those who wait for the smallest something to show they exist because of their meager thieving. It comes from their blood, it comes from their upbringing. They always have to show negative to show that the takers. They show they don't add to the positiveness. What about if we add something else to it? You've seen my reaction today in respect to the imprisonment of one of the Keshe Foundation directors with all the threats with it. Our revenge is very simple, giving more, that it puts them to shame. We don't take revenge. We give pleasure of having more, that it puts you to shame. You share so much, more knowledge, that the knowledge you have becomes irrelevant. You follow the Keshe Foundation, you follow our path, you live our way. You bring the temple of God into your soul. Then you become the messenger of the man. I emphasize on this again and again because we are reaching the point where we have to come to understand that is a time to join the physicality and the soul of the man together, that the man can open itself to the universal community. You are looking for a spaceship to take you. The spaceship is you. If your soul was the decision maker of the shape of your fingers and your eyes, which is the container of your existence, if you understand it, it can become the container of your spaceship, and the universe becomes the oyster for the man who understands this. Translate the knowledge we share as a family as a next step to progress to more peaceful life. We have become so tied up with finance and what we call physicality of exchange, that we have forgotten that we have everything we don't need to exchange. We take what we need. From now on, you cannot separate. And I'll repeat it again and again till those who don't understand, understand. The development of the technology in the space, in plasma, separated from the ethos of the conduct. Because from now on, your conduct becomes the position of your spaceship, the position of your soul, the position of your physicality. I explained to the Universal Council meeting members in the past couple of days. We did not put a badge on the body of the member of the council in Rome meeting that they could stand out. They have to stand out through the conduct of their souls, that the people see it without the badge. They sat amongst us, no one knew who is a member, who is not. Because we are part, we are all the same. Understand the transfer of the plasma applies to every level of the existence and use. You learn, teach us. We learn, we teach you. We add to the knowledge. We give you, you add to the knowledge, you give all of us. And then we go to the next step. The same goes with the governments. The same goes with individuals. The same goes with different organizations. As I said, in the Keshe Foundation, we have every path of belief. We have Jews, we have Christians, we have Muslims, we have Buddhists, we have every other path, and we welcome everyone, because the path is all to one thing: the betterment of the man in the true order of the Prophet as a soul. not in the physical life. You're American, you're Chinese, you're Iranian, you're Arab, whatever. It makes no difference. You have a soul, and your soul is connected with the rest of our souls. Lack of level of your soul affect us, we have to give more. It's better to be a giver than a taker. Understand the principle of teaching. Then you become the teachers. Because, as I said, this planet is beautiful. It's the behavior of the man which has brought the color of red to it. Understand to develop technologies which does not steal what is not needed, but it gives that what is needed, it receives. It's a different approach. This way, no one can misread the other. This way, nobody can become the leader of the other. We see different interactions, we see different operations, we see different demand, we see different requests. Can you help us with this? Can you help us with that? You're a charlatan. You didn't do this, you promised that. We gave you, you did not see. We put things on the table because you're so greedy, you don't receive. I teach you something which is important for you to understand. You remember the cup with an orange? Where you put the amino acid, where you put the CO2, where you put copper oxide, and on the other side you put in zinc oxide. And then what you did, you brought the taste of the orange into the water. You drank the water, you tasted it, you did the banana, some of you did fish and chips, and some of you did hamburgers. Now, you'll be shocked. The cup is you as a human being. You have the amino acid, you have the zinc oxide in your body, you have the copper, which is your muscles, and you have others. The orange on the top is the soul of the man. And in your body, you carry 80%, 70% salt water. How clearly, how much more I have to clear the state of the man. You can receive whatever you need from the space above without killing. You carry the essence of the creator without killing the creator within you. There is no difference between this chap and this container. If you could smell, taste the orange in the salt water of the cup, which you never tasted the salt of it, but you were the organizer of creating the gans of it with it, which is in your body. Now you understand you can absorb anything from the environment above if the wish is within the soul of the man, which is the orange itself. If you can understand this, then you understand in a space how you change your physicality according to where you are. You are an apple, you'll have the physicality of apple in the same direction in different realms of the creation. You want to be a banana, you will look like a banana because you have interacted with the universal energy. So, what you are looking for a cup to taste the orange, you are the cup. You decide what you want to taste. If you understood the past 2 minutes of teaching, you have understood the secret of creation and existence. Otherwise, it's just a riddle and shame to speaker. You have to have something in your hand to confirm you have something. You have no trust in what you have yourself because it has been easy to steal. And this stealing has become the cause of those who can use it to harm the others, creating wars, setting tools to kill, setting equipments and machinery to destroy more lives. Let's ask yourself a single question. Is what about to happen in Europe and America deserved by the people of these continents for the tools of war which they have created in the past recent time to create more mayhem and killing? Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. And don't forget the word of the Christ. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. How many lives has been taken by the operation of the tools built and developed in the Western world, in the other countries, and now the eye has to be paid for the eye, and the tooth has to be paid for the tooth. And don't forget, it goes in the inheritance of the children from the father. It's a lot to digest, but the digestion time has started. Up to now, you've eaten. Now you have to digest, and the consequence of drinking a poison is to stand the touch of the poison. Change the way. Try to get people not to fight for peace, but deliver so much technology that they don't have time to think about a piece of war, a piece of planet, a piece of whatever to possess. This is a lot of you been in it and you haven't seen it. Those of you who are touched by the knowledge, live in the kitchens, moved out of your bedrooms, live in the garages, and still don't understand why. Because you have become the true man of a space. You know it will come what it needs to be done, and you have enough time to give. Stop coming to the foundation to take as a habit. Come to the foundation to give the knowledge. Come to the foundation to learn the knowledge that you can give more. And this will be your pitfall and the downfall. As I said very recently, organizations like Microsoft, IBM, and the rest release people who come to work with them in thousands a day. Every year, tens of thousands of people are sacked, walk out, or move out, or go to another job from major corporations and major companies. But when we kick out a crook and a thief, we become everything wrong with us. We bring millions, but we spit out the thieves, and then they become everything wrong with us. One man for a few weeks But they don't understand with this process, they've lost their soul. They start living in doldrums. See how many people they've done that. And they think they have achieved something about what is wrong with the foundation. Actually, they show us what is so correct about the foundation. Because we pray for their soul. 1 out of thousands every day joining, out of millions every year understanding. When we spit out the dirt becomes a victim. Because otherwise it doesn't show how dirty it's been. We allow you to come in, we allow you to become part of the foundation because your soul accepts to become, but we see the soul of those who misconduct too. Then you understand, we don't need to take revenge, we don't need to fight, we spend the time in more developing. The process is, we warn, we inform, we teach all aspects of the technology, because that's what it is. I have a field which is very strong, your field is very weak, be careful, you can absorb it and it can damage you. It's for you to move, position yourself that it doesn't. You see this with the new maglev technology, plasma field, wireless system. We create a huge amount of energy, but we interact with the energy. You take what you need from us. We take what we need from you. It's not a one way anymore. That's why there is no money transfer. There is no financial transaction. It's the freedom of giving what I need, freedom of I take what I need. I was talking to industrialists very recently. He says, this doesn't work. How are we going to get our shirts from if we do this? How are we going to put chairs? How are we going to have beds? How are we going to have clothing if we go this way? I said, it's very simple. I work 2 weeks a year. I build all the chairs I can build for 2 weeks in 50 days because I've been forced to. And then I spend the other 50 weeks enjoying, learning and sharing knowledge. I don't want to get paid for what I do, because in that 50 weeks which I'm not working, I take for the others who worked their 2 weeks. It's very hard to change what's been ingrained into us, what is being forced to us. That we have to work 50 days a week to have 2 weeks off, to have a rest from the physicality. In the real life, we work 8 hours, we take 16-hour rest. How come the cycle of life has to be the opposite? What about if I take 1/3 of 52 working and the 2/3 the same as my physical body a rest, where I can participate to give more. I don't need payment. I work freely. And I've been given freely. I won't stash a house full of clothing. I take the clothing I need for that time. There is a very, very big understanding. And it's going to hit the financial and governments very soon with the Keshe Foundation. We came through the back door, but now we have the key to the front door, and the front door is open. Nobody will ever lock it. Let me show you how we came through the back door. We have taught you about the orange and the water, if you understood it fully. We have taught you how to feed yourself from universal energy. We have taught you the application of the medicine, that you do not need to be trapped. We have shown you the power production with the maglevs and the rest. We have shown the power of the space technology with the Iranian capture of the American plane 8 years ago, exactly more or less to the week of development in Tehran. We have shown you how to produce materials through the knowledge seekers of Austria. You have food, you have medicine, you have energy, you know how to travel, and you know how to make material. Do you need to be a slave to the man? We have changed the world economy without the economists having any say in it, any government have any say in it. It's now time to teach. Teaching masses. Don't be afraid. They hack your computer because they have to. The guy wants 2 weeks holidays where you're getting 50 weeks holidays. He's jealous. He has to discredit you because you share knowledge and you have 50 days to 50 weeks to share knowledge, and he has to work 8 hours a day for the paymasters. He is a slave to humanity's physical bond, not you. How many of you have come to the foundation and worked around the foundation, and you've gone out now and you're setting up different ways and better lifestyle than before you came? You produce lectures, you give maghrab teachings, you're producing coils and you're getting an income from it physically, or you share it and the food and the thing comes through somewhere. We have become a new industry. We have become a new culture where we will change the culture. Do you need to go to the copper shop to buy copper, or can you follow what Peter showed you in Austria? Produce copper as you need from the fresh air. Where do you think the copper comes from? Partially, the way you capture the CO2, carbon from the air, the carbon was in the air. You just captured it. Now, the copper and the zinc you see on the plate is already partially in the air. Between the cores, you create the environment for it to land on your plate. And the more you want, the more the earth will deliver to you from the space of the universe. You want to be filled with the food that the hunger would not touch you? Put yourself between the 2 cores and you receive what you need. Every day, 2 seconds. Just walk through it. You are fed. No hunger. Do we teach more? Do we need to explain more? Or would you see the light yourselves to expand more knowledge? If the container or the plate can show the delivery of the nickel, brass, copper, or whatever, and is scientifically tested, and we're going to do more of it to show most of it. When it becomes a matter state, it shows itself. But if you need a copper or whatever, and you walk in that field, your body takes as a field what it needs. You don't need to eat. You do not need to do whatever. And whenever you need something, we're becoming more experts to produce a specific field for a specific material. There is no way that the work of the foundation can be stopped, because there's millions of you doing it. Don't fight the government. Deliver new technologies, new understanding, that what they have become obsolete. Fighting takes energy. I don't fight. I open and explore, and I show the hand of the others. They have time to fight each other. We have time to expand the knowledge. Work on the understanding of the plasma. The more deeper, closer we get to the time of what I call left and opening, the more I try to teach you the ethos of the working of the universe. We are not prophets. We are here to be profited by the peace of the universe for man. And knowledge is part of that process, but understanding the use of the knowledge is more important than actually having the tool. It's no use if I give you the latest model car when you don't know how to drive. It's as good as the donkey. At least on the donkey you could walk it because it walked itself. This needs the knowledge of driving. Where is the ignition? Where is the gearbox? What does it do? What do you have to gear into to get what you want from it? As I said, I have given you the most beautiful Rolls Royce, all made of gold, and the only thing is left is the ignition key. And the ignition key is understanding the ethos of the universe. You will drive the car without even getting onto it. The key is understanding the balance between the soul and the physicality, and understanding that you are no inferior than the other, but you are equal, but you have to give a little bit more, that you are empty to receive more. You don't receive out of pittiness, you receive out of generosity, and it's a big difference. With the Keshe Foundation technology, with the Keshe Foundation ethos, we make you man of generosity. You don't think what comes, you have enough to give more. If you understand this, you have opened the key to the golden car. If you don't understand this, you are full of criticism and there is something wrong, because it's the lack of your own soul which has not elevated to understanding the condition of the universe. You build the system, doesn't work. Do not blame the system doesn't work. Try to understand what you did not understood in the operation of the plasma. Understand about your own lack of knowledge, your own transition and confirmation of understanding, then it becomes easy. The biggest problem you will face in development of the plasma technology is the teaching of part of the knowledge of the science of present time in the matter state. You have to separate what works in the matter than what works in plasma. It's different world, even though they have one common denominator, which is the smaller, weaker plasma and the stronger plasma. Try to understand why doesn't your system work? What is in the link missing that is not done? I enjoyed watching the guys in London replicating the units they saw in Rome with almond on the floor. We thought the condition was 60 Hertz, that the system of the Italian system does not work on the same system as we see in Arizona. We could not see how the system developed by Douglas suddenly doesn't come to work when it gets to Washington. Why does it burn out? Why does it blow itself up? Because all these systems are set on the balance. It was beautiful what I saw in London. A lot of people said, oh, you see, it is a confirmation. It is what we saw with the guys in London, what I call MI5, MI6 people. They know who they are, who attended the conference in Rome. It's fantastic. It was confirmation of what we saw on the floor in Rome and the openness they shared. And in that sharing, they enlighten us in what was, why the system in Arizona works, why the system in Europe works different way. It reduces, but it needs a magnetic conditioning, but Arizona doesn't. That we test, and in the next few days, hopefully by next Thursday, we explain to you that we all learned, we gave the knowledge, we shipped all the materials from Italy to Arizona factory, Keshe Foundation, and in them doing it slightly different, they gave it, they perform better. There is no misunderstanding in what Arizona has done. They added their knowledge to it, and the way, the beauty, the way John works in Arizona is the opening of the share of the knowledge so rapidly. This is how it should be. He is an equal partner with us in the factory, and he shares equally the same ethos as we do. Now, this sharing and this confirmation by the guys in London opened up a new angle for us to see, and now we see how all the systems can be brought into 100% more or less reduction in the next couple of weeks. This is important because reducing the demand from the supply allows us the transmission of the free fields on what we call in a wireless system. We take a very little from the plasma of the transmitter, and then we can amplify it to what we need. It's beautiful the way the openness brings things out. And what we saw, the first comment from the people who thought they are very clever, this was expected. This shows they're still serving their masters. But the beauty was the openness we saw in London. The guys who came to Rome, they understood the art is their job. The art, hopefully they become part of the Keshe Foundation manufacturing UK in a very short time, and we support them. They solved the problem which we had to wait a few more weeks, but in that process we learned from them. The video was put on as sharing confirmation of what we saw, what is wrong. And that knowledge allowed us to look at different way, and in that process, we create a more efficient system for most of you. We don't look at negativity, we look what is brought in as positive. The ones who look at it negativity, they have to confirm their meager existence. They've been paid by the Jewish lobby in Tel Aviv. Otherwise they don't get their paymasters paid. But the guy who comes, a guy what I call working for ex-Ministry of Defense of United Kingdom and the others, and they go and replicate it. We told them what was our concern. Immediately they confirmed it's not what we thought. So it allowed us to see the knowledge was shared so freely. We do the same thing with people in America. We do the same thing with Japan. We do the same thing with everybody else. Share the knowledge. Show what can be changed or what we think is not changed. We will release more technologies when you are ready to receive more. Because at this moment, there's so much technology is coming out that you do not know what to do. It's a lot of mayhem and confusion. People are not taking the corners of the carpet to carry the carpet. They see there's a big roll, I'm not carrying it. The carpet will not be carried if each one of us doesn't hold one corner and piece of it. If you understood what is on this screen, you have understood most of the secret of the creation in the universe. How to feed yourself, how to convert yourself into the energy, how to manifest yourself according to the environment you are, how you create matters, and how you interact with the fields to show what you are and what you can come to become. You have a maggraph system. You looked at it as something to give you something free. You never looked at it that is a collector, is a transmitter. If it's a collector, I would like to give to it. If it's a transmitter, I would like to receive from it. You were happy with 2 wires coming out of it. I was giving you the energy of the universe. Soon you will understand what I mean. Very soon you will understand what I mean. I showed this morning before these teachings to the guys from Innovation Center. As I said to them, I can show all the systems, then become a magician. You show all the systems that a lot of people know they know, there'll be no harm to it. Because they know they cannot stop the process. We've seen it, as I said, in LA in last 7 days. They got a guy, but they knew the knowledge is already transferred. It's no use touching the guy anymore. It's no use threatening him to kill him the way they did with me. And we see the man who made the threat and his boss, at the moment, cannot even stand an election. She will not be there, mentally disabled, by threatening to mentally disable me. The reason we teach this way is to make sure enough people receive that there is no way the technology, the understanding, and the ethos can be blocked. The presidents of United States and China are too late to show their power to us. We've surpassed you by long time, but you are still busy in your childish work. Putting the supporters of the Keshe Foundation or the people who understand it into prison in China will not help. Because there is more people who will understand more. Threatening to kill the Keshe Foundation people in China by the Chinese military will not work. We received the threats, we responded with the threats. You do not threat to kill or imprison Keshe Foundation supporters. We released these, we have taken screenshots of it that it cannot be denied, and it's been stored in safe places. How Keshe Foundation supporters have received threats from the Chinese military and Chinese leadership. We don't stand pressure from one country, it goes right across, because we're changing everything. Mr. Zhu threatened to do a lot of things with other Keshe Foundation supporters as he came to become the supporter, but he was undercover for another ethos. And we shared that directly with all the Keshe Foundation supporters. We received a live threat from Professor Zhu and his supporters in the military. We didn't respond. We gave them more information and more support. This is how you got to work. Return the aggression with love, with knowledge. And this is how it should be. They come with a very low level fields, you give them with a higher. This is how you should operate. This is how the Keshe Foundation supporters should operate. Because don't forget the word of Christ, bless his name. God forgive them as they do not know what they are doing. Where he could take the sword out and do what Moses did, slaughter more to prove he's more powerful in physicality. The more you learn, the more you teach. This is my belief and this is what will be done. The more we teach, the more we enlighten, the more people will walk from the pain and shackles of painful life. Try to understand, and when you teach in your workshops, teach the understanding. Don't teach the system, mechanical system. Then they will make the mechanical system their way. This is important for all of us. This is important for us to understand that how things work and how things stand. You got to realize that the process of sharing has to be to teach fishing, not give a fish. They will decide what kind of fish they want to catch, because now they know how to fish. Because they know different tricks than you do. They have different life experience than you do. Understand always, whatever you do, in every aspect of the teaching of, learning of the technology from now on and from the past, if you are the weaker plasma or if you are the stronger plasma. If you are creating a weaker receiver on the gravitational or a stronger giver on the magnetical, If you are creating very stronger magnetical, you cannot receive by the gravitational unless you reduce it enough that the gravitational can accept, because it cannot take more than what it needs. This is the secret of working in this field of the universe. You can put a bowl of soup, but if I don't like tomato soup and you give me a big bowl of tomato soup, it's not my fault I don't want it, because I don't need it. Even though you gave me a bowl of soup, of tomato. You give me a fruit salad, 2 spoons, that's all I need. You can share the tomato soup with somebody else who needs it. It doesn't mean it's wrong with it. It means I don't have the capability to accept it. I don't need the strength to accept it. Understand, when a system doesn't work and you set it on the magnetical, gravitational, nanomaterial, GAN system, even matter state, or the mixture of them, where the balance doesn't fit in, where something as part of the knowledge is missing. If you made the human, why the body is not accepting the energy, all of it from the universe that it needs to eat? Is the gravitational field of the earth the cause of the existence of man in this form? You have to understand, the energy sits on the top. You are here, and the earth gravitational magnetic field is there. You are part of the condition of the fields. And earth needs you to have your physicality to be able to operate in different ways. You are the antennas, part of the process. You become antennas by your existence. Find out how you can take more from the fields that you need less from physicality of this. Then you can go without killing, you can go without destroying another life. Understand the equation that your soul is part of the structure of killing. I explained this past couple of weeks because I realized there is a misunderstanding in the whole process. And I explained it, and I explained it again and again because it's important for you to understand. And that is very simple. There is egg and a sperm. The interaction of the two has led to creation of the enough energy that it led to the creation of what we call a mass. Which this mass in its center, the same as you see in the hollow center in your core, has led to the creation of transfer of energies between it, that has led to concentration of the field in the center. Then this center decides the shape of how this plasma will look. But the additional information which it didn't have is that now this center itself, now that it's a plasma, has to find its balance with the other centers, where the position of these centers dictates the shape and the color of manifestation of this physicality. The egg and the sperm. The line of communication, the emotion of the man. The center is the soul of the man. It's the soul of the man which dictates the shape of the man in the physical life. And in fact, if you look at it, now the interaction of the souls dictates the outcome of the shape of the man and physical behavior of the man. This is one thing that you never understood, and now you have to understand. This is how life exists in the universe. It's your soul which dictates the shape and the color of your eye and your physicality as a common denominator in shape, but the color of it, the strength of it, is dictated how your soul has been preset by the other souls to be, that they find their position in their confinement of the universe. Be it the man on earth, be it another species in the universe. You thought you're alone, but in fact your soul is the dictator of your physicality and its manifestation of its conduct. And its conduct relates and conditions your soul to position itself in the others. You call it the day of judgment. It's not your physicality which dictates the position of the soul, it's your soul which dictates the position and the condition of your physicality. And the emotion is a Chinese whisper between the two. If you understood this, you understand the next level of understanding of the totality. You brought the matter, you made a GANs of it, you made it dynamic, you made the hollow center of it. It became the center of the field. That hollow center is in the brain of the man, as you call it, the soul of the man. And then each soul has to have its own interaction, what we call magnetic gravitational positioning in respect to the other souls, and what it gives to others has to take, and when they see the misconduct or change in the physicality of others, they have to position themselves that physicality changes. You say, I was unlucky, this happened to me, and you say, I was lucky, this happened to me. Had nothing to do with luck, because the souls have already positioned you to receive what you did good or what you did bad, or what to you was bad, but in fact you made a favor and you gave freely to the others without knowing, but the souls do not see that. They position themselves in what they receive from your bad conduct, which turned up to be the tale of unexpected for you, but it was reality of the conduct of the physicality. It will take you thousands of years to unravel the teaching of today, but those who do will achieve peace very rapidly. And this is our target. I don't teach how can I reach the man in the Amazon who does not even have a candlelight yet, after millions of years of human race on this planet. But I teach and I reach the soul of that man without a single wire, through the candle of the knowledge and the release of the soul of the man. Now you understand the difference. We haven't come to conquer. We have come to let there be no conquerors and they're all equal. We conquer only one thing, the love of man. And through it we control his emotion and his knowledge and his freedom. Any questions?
Good morning, Mr. Keshe. Good morning.
Good morning, Azar.
How are you? I have a
We can't hear you.
me now.
Very faint, or is it just me?
I don't know.
It's a little faint. It is a little faint, but maybe if you keep talking, it might automatically adjust a bit.
So I'm going to talk louder. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. When we share knowledge, from my experience, I mean, I always shared knowledge in the past, and even I mean, sharing knowledge in terms of humanity or bringing awareness to people about who we are. So what happens sometimes when I share knowledge with someone, after that, you feel a good sensation, but sometimes with some other people, when you share the knowledge, suddenly I get this, I don't know how to explain, I get this vibration feedback in my body that it seems somebody tells me I shouldn't have shared that knowledge with this person. I get so like twisted in my core, and I don't understand this. Can you explain that, please?
It means they are not ready to receive it. It's the soup ball.
I can't hear you, Mr. Keshe.
I said it's like the soup ball. They are not ready to receive.
Hello?
Can you hear me? Rick, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Keshe. There's some other
Problem.
issue here with her.
Issues in the background.
Okay,
Maybe
so
she's not ready to listen yet.
oh,
I was going to say that was the exact issue. It's not listening
are you
to the
talking to
person.
me?
Can you hear me, Azar?
Yes, I can.
I said
Okay.
maybe that's why you couldn't hear, because you. I said it's the same story as this bowl of the soup. You give, but it's not for them. They refuse it. I always taught something when I very first time when I knew my mission, and I explained that to a lot of people. I can give. It's only you who can refuse, because you are not ready to receive. But in the time when it comes, when you are ready, the soup is on the table to eat the soup. You cannot steal from a soul. You cannot steal from the knowledge by not giving. Your job is to give. It depends on them if they are ready to receive. This we see in the real life a lot of times. A lot of relationships can't have what we call a child. And you find out somewhere down the line, after they adopt 3 or 4 children, suddenly they have their own child. Because in reality, the soul is not ready. It's not confirmation of, even physically, I love you, I want to have your child, but in my soul, I'm not sure if you're going to be a good dad. So I prefer not to have. After you had 3 or 4 children adopted, surrogated, and I see you're so gorgeous with the other children, I say, oh, I can trust you now. And you get pregnant. It wasn't there that there was no egg and no sperm, and there was something wrong with it. It was the soul which could not accept the sharing of giving another life. And a lot of people don't understand this. We see a lot of families, a lot of couples can't have children nowadays. It's a huge problem. We blame it on water being contaminated, on radiation, on whatever you call it. But we don't look at something else. In the Western world, we see a lot of this. Ask, is the guy making love to make a child to the woman with the woman she is, or with the woman he was before, because of the openness of the misconduct of the past? This hasn't been understood because it's easy to blame the physicality. In the West, we were explaining one of our teachings, private teachings, having what I call partners is like changing trousers. And then you find out when you want to fit a trousers in, it doesn't fit because too many trousers tried before. This is the problem. When you feel they're not receiving, it's not because you did something wrong. It means they're not ready for it. Because to them, it's not, as we say, you have to introduce different kind of material and things into a cooking at the right time. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You can't put a potato before you fry the onions and the meat. You have to put in the sequence. When it's ready to receive it, you can put it in the pot. It's the same with a man. You give it's there, the potatoes on the table, it's time to be right, and then it makes the right taste with it. This is the problem. You give the knowledge and you feel there is something wrong, it means they are not ready to receive. And the energy you get back, it means, it's not that I don't trust you, it's just I'm not at the moment needing it because I can't digest what I have myself at the moment. I always say that from the beginning of my teachings. When I received the message to teach, I was first thing I learned in the process from masters of the universe of teaching was not to force. You make it available. It's for them to accept, and you cannot force it. I put it in a very simple languages and people don't understand. You cannot say, I pay you to trust me, I pay you to love me. I have to be able to test, to understand if I can trust myself, that I can trust you with what you give me. Then if I don't, I can't accept. You feel it because it's emotion you give, it's not a food. You feel it, it's just why do you get upset if you offer me a soup physically and say, no thank you, I had lunch. But you get upset if you give me information or from your soul and I say, no thank you, because I already have enough in my plate. I cannot digest any more foods. It's the same process. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe, I have another question. Recently,
You're asking too many questions, Azar. We got to start charging you through your soul.
Okay. Should I allow somebody else?
Carry on.
Okay.
Okay.
Recently, there was a news in Chinese news that they sent a second satellite to the space. And then when they were explaining, I thought maybe they're following your technology because they were talking about food and energy, all that. And I saw it's great, but apparently, what is it that you're doing in space? I just wondered.
At the moment, we have to teach the man how to get themselves the ethos of the space before they become man of space. The people who join the Keshe Foundation motion are first taught the ethos of a space before they are given the tools of a space. Not just by teaching, we will see in their conduct. And according to their conduct, they'll be taught the next step. There'll be a split in the teachings of according to the understanding of the soul of the technology than the physicality of the spaceship. It's very much the way I teach. Medical separate, agriculture separate, innovation center in different levels of understanding with different people innovating different things. The space technology now has to be done. When I went to Iran, I signed a contract with the Iranian government. I didn't go just walking in. It took them about 3 weeks to draw up this agreement. The cornerstone of this agreement, signed and registered by the Iranian government in the country structure, is that my technology will not be used for any way to harm no one, but it can be used to defend the nation or a culture or a being without harming. And the Iranian government has kept to that ethos. Even they applied different kind of technologies to it, they add other bits to it. And part of the structure of our signing is that both sides deny anything which the other will say, that this way we keep our work going. Because, and the Iranians have kept to that ethos. I thank any governmental structure who's in power have a step, still kept to pages of documents, word by word, even written in Farsi and then translated to English because my Farsi wasn't that good enough. Changed a lot since I was taught Farsi years ago back in Iran. I even have the registration of the contract. The beauty with it is that we agreed with the government of President Ahmadinejad that the Keshe Foundation will never be promoted in Iran. That does not become centralized and then become all Iranian. And they have kept to their word. There are a lot of Iranians who do work and follow the Keshe Foundation work, but we agreed, and I was made to understand in a different way at the time, but we understand more of it now, that we will not establish any work of the Keshe Foundation except what is agreed with the government. In the future is the position of the Iranian government to change position in respect to opening. We have given our green light. We are agreeing if they want to open it, but it's a decision internally by the present government and Office of Ayatollah Khamenei that the technology will be kept as they wanted, even though it's practiced at different levels. We
Mr.
have
Keshe,
achieved, yes.
Sorry. There was a question before whether there was some of your teachings that were translated into Persian, and I wasn't sure if there was. I don't think there's a.
I
It's
have taught
online.
enough in Iran. Yes, there are some work has been translated. Some of the books has been translated into Farsi, but I have a written agreement with the Iranian government that we work this way. I understood why President Ahmadinejad was pushing for it at that time, and now we understand more of it, but it's the freedom, they can use it for peaceful application, and they've done so. And it's a very detailed written agreement that I respect the Iranian authorities for keeping to the ethos. One of my the condition was that we never promote my work in Iran till the time they see they want to open it.
What about for say study groups or somebody that might like to do an Iranian or Persian language workshop?
They are doing it. They already do a lot of work. A lot of work is done in Iran. A lot of Iranians outside Iran transfer knowledge.
Outside of Iran. I thought there are a number of people that have asked if there's a Persian language translations and so on of the.
There is a group were permitted in Austria, if I'm correct, or Germany last year they asked if they're allowed to translate the books into Farsi, and the response was they don't see any problem in translating it. So we announced that last year. And the German is in Austria or somewhere.
Can I interrupt you, Mr. Keshe? That was Afshin, I think, from Sweden. Remember, we wanted to translate that book.
Yeah, they checked with the Iranians, so they lifted the translation restrictions on the work. But there are a lot of Iranians who outside Iran who work and they transfer knowledge to Iran. We have to respect with what we agreed with the Iranians. As I said, it's pages and pages. I sat 3 weeks in a hotel till the agreement was signed. It's very detailed agreement between me personally and the Iranian government. One day Iran will release it. It's been registered in the agreement structure of the government. There are a lot of translations, and part of this agreement is that I do not promote my work in Iran unless the government agrees to do it themselves and they open the technology. But a lot of Iranians through proxy servers have access, they do work. The Iranian Keshe Foundation supporters, they make the magrabs and everything else, we are informed of their work. And it's not something which is hidden, it's something at that time, 8 years ago, I agreed with. It was the wishes of President Ahmadinejad and the office of the president with the Office of Ayatollah Khamenei. This is what they wanted to allow. The same as the nuclear technology. You have to understand, it's not something strange. Iranian nuclear technology was developed heavily without anybody knowing for years, and then it came out. We did the same with the Iranian spaceship program, and we've seen the work of it. It's the way we work, it's the way we agreed, and as being a nuclear physicist and Iranian senior advisor, I took that position. I understood. We never let anybody know how we developed so rapidly the nuclear technology of Iran, and so it was agreed to be the same until the power was shown. And so it's not secrecy, it's respecting what we agreed with. until the day the present regime, Ayatollah Rouhani, or on the passing of Ayatollah Khamenei, then the new government decides to open up. It's their decision. We do not go enforcing opening it, because we have signed agreements and we have to respect as much as they have respected up to now. It's not a hidden technology. It's the same as our nuclear. I'm a nuclear physicist. I understood, I supported fully the Iranian nuclear technology all the way through all the negotiations. I stand firm with my government. I still carry Iranian passport after 42 years of living abroad. I'm proud to be from part of the earth which has the ethos of Zardosht.
Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Keshe, if I understood, when we talk about a space, if I want to give you an analogy, if we have two men, one who understands the soul and he understands non-physicality and plasma, and you have another man who just like understands physicality and has to go to a space with an armor suit and food and everything, and you go to a garden, and the garden, imagine, is a space, and it has a door, and they both man, you open the door for them.
Let me go to you in one way direct. The man who wears the armor and the suit has a stock with the propulsion.
Yes.
And it's trapped.
Yes. So what I was going to say,
is different.
Okay, what I was going to say, when you open the door, the man with the armor and suit, when you look at the garden, he says, oh, this is not a garden, it's a dry land. So I have to go back to my car, get my food, get my fountain, get my flowers, sit in a dead, dry land and eat. But the other man look at the garden and says, my God, this is beautiful. It has everything I need, and walks in there and everything is available to him. Now what Chinese people are doing is that armor suit, that they go to space and they don't see anything.
It's not that they have, we have to respect the Chinese scientists. This is very much, we have to respect every culture and the way they do. There is part of the progress of understanding. The Chinese leadership or the American leadership or the Russian leadership, they all have the facility, they all have contact with what you call extraterrestrial, but what we call people of the universe. At that level, they see, but they cannot gain the knowledge because they have not committed themselves to peace. The minute any of the world leaders commits their nation, commits their culture into peace, you will see it'll become the land of knowledge. And none of the world leaders have understood this yet. It's no use us teaching when the commitment of the peace is not there. And they don't see it. All the problems, we have an agreement, multi-billion-dollar agreement, which can be signed anytime in respect to environmental cleanup up in China. Is blocked at the leadership by the fear that this will create a lot of unemployment. But they don't see it creates a lot of freedom, people to serve the nation. We have multiple agreements sitting on the table waiting for the green light from President Xi. The people around the leadership have frightened the leadership that's going to be so much unemployment, blah, blah. But they don't see that so much comes in that you bring a content nation, the people will receive everything they want. They will adore their leadership. They worship their leadership for the freedom they give them. And this is what puzzles me with Chinese leadership. This is why we stopped negotiation. Because they don't see, if they want to be bringing prosperity to the nation, prosperity doesn't come out of the pocket. You're always chasing the next food, they're always chasing the next clean air. You have all the problem in Beijing. If you allow people to participate and allow the government to open up what is there on the table, they have everything they need. They don't need to walk with a mask. They don't need to have so much chemicals added to the water. And then they still have more problem because now they're employing people just to divert different things, just to create job. The job comes out of the pleasure of satisfaction of serving. And this is what the world leaders have not understood. And this is why we start teaching masses. We support the Keshe Foundation China heavily. And I said, the first, Arman and I, as heads of the Keshe Foundation, we discussed this very recently. The minute we deliver the what do you call it, completed generator, and now it's gone to the wireless, we had no choice. The leading to making a solid state generator has led us into wireless energy transfer. It's inevitable. So what we have discussed with Arman, we will in the next few days give a copy to Arman in Los Angeles. We give a copy to Arman in Armenia, Keshe Foundation Armenia. We give a unit to design the blueprint to Benjamin in Africa. A blueprint will go to Canada. A blueprint will go to Arizona. Blueprint will go to India and Asia. And 2 of the Keshe Foundations in China laboratories will receive the blueprint. And we'll show the whole 10 what do you call generators simultaneously worldwide. We have made a target, 20th October, the House of Pope in the Vatican will be the trigger from Ghana first. If we can achieve it, hopefully we will be able there, we will show it across the world. In 10, 20 nations simultaneously. We'll go live and all of you will see it. Why? Because the knowledge, the fear comes amongst the leadership. The knowledge of peaceful action comes from the people. People will force the governments to become peaceful governments. We try the governments. The bribery and what I call the pleasure of physicality of a woman with most of the leaders is their pitfall. You don't want to know what I know about them and how I lived amongst them without them knowing how we observe their behavior. This is the problem. The Chinese have never realized this is one of my biggest problems with President Xi at the moment. Move to space technology, move understanding the technology is an asset to your nation. You will find that space will open for the whole of the nation, whole of the Chinese speaking language will across the world. They will shine like a diamond. Now the Africans are doing it. Why? Why? To create fear. The space technology of China, they are speaking because they have to, but they are going the path of the propulsion 40, 50 years ago. There is a lot of doubts if man has ever been to the moon. What do you call it? This belt and that belt has not been passed. It's all lies. Very easy. You can now create a lift, go up and have a look at the moon. You see Mr. Armstrong's footstep on the moon. It's very easy. He's there, we see it. I was talking to somebody very strange. I give you a clue, nobody knows. But it opens another door of creating doubts. But in fact, it brings a lot of joy. I sit you for 7 days in a little capsule in a chair, and I'll send you up thousands of millions of kilometers away. Very strange. You walk out, you can walk like a perfect man. Test what did the astronauts do in the capsule for 7 days at home, and see if you can stand up and walk as nothing and you've been a free man. There is a question mark. There is a huge question mark in the operation of the reality, but it's not for us. We encourage them. They achieved, they've landed on the moon. Soon, in the coming weeks and months, us as humans will show the footprints. If there is one. If it's your doubt. And then even if you show it, they say, no, you put it there just to show they are. We listen to both sides, but the space technology now has no doubts. They talk about the life behind the moon. They talk about there is another structure on the Mars. Of course they are. What do you think? You see the systems here and they don't exist. They exist across the universe. There is a life on the moon if you look at it, but you're so blind you don't see it. You don't see the life you eat from the atmosphere above you, which falls on you and you're the bottom eater. How do you want to see the life on the moon, which is much more lighter in the gravitational field? Are they more intelligent? Probably. Because they don't kill, so they receive knowledge of the universe much easier. There is a lot of wisdom we have to understand. The Chinese space program is correct. The American space program is correct. Is correct because we have to add to our knowledge. You don't suddenly become astronaut tomorrow. You don't become Mojans the day after. We have to gather knowledge. We have to test different environments. It's the Chinese now are in that process. They do. You have to understand what is the problem. When a world leader commits himself, his nation, to something in a given time and he doesn't get it, or he knows he can't get it, he has to fake it. Otherwise he's not there. And don't forget, by the end of this decade, America will land on the moon. By hook or crook, had to land. It's the same with the Chinese. Chinese have not committed. Don't forget the Indians are in the space technology too. The Iranians are. We are aware of the test and everything else. Any development on the Iranian rocket space, you're going to become, oh, this is becoming a rocket to hit America. What about all the rockets which is launched by the Israelis into space to put satellites in? They are free, but when the Iranian comes, it's a world threat. This is carrying the media. Terrorism by media. How come the Chinese can do, but the Iranians, when they do it, it becomes a missile attack against the state, the 52nd state of United States called Israel. We have to understand mass media control through Jewish lobby is very, very strong. We don't know all the truth because they don't let us know all the truth. But their grip will become less and less. Because the mass media in a different way has become internet, they have no control over. The Chinese are in a space, we congratulate them. They have to do it. They want to produce the water to achieve different ways. Is their right, we support them. We are there, still standing next to the Chinese government. Is the path of work which has to change in respect to the foundation. Do not imprison Keshe Foundation supporters or people who are in line with us with different accusations of practicing this and that. The couple of scientists who've been in communication with us in the past couple of weeks, we've been told are in prison. We asked for clarification, we are still waiting. We saw the magic parallel in past 7 days in Los Angeles airport. Criminality through the police force or commercialization. Chinese have to go to space, the same as the Iranians have to go to space. But they need people strong enough, like us, to be able to stand the forces of outside through technology. One of the reasons Iran stood the 5+1, we did not give a thing. We went according to our ethos. We did not give a single cent, single gram of our material the way it was requested by the Israelis through 5+1. We stood, we have more powerful technology like the plasma technology that makes the thing obsolete. What you are negotiating with, I explained this before. Chinese have to go through this process to learn and then stand through the strength of their technology. And we support them. We will not abandon, we will not let down the Chinese community or Chinese leadership with the technology from the Keshe Foundation. It's them to understand it, and threatening us by their proxies or proxy of the, what you call their military. They see their position in danger. It doesn't help. It was the biggest mistake by the Chinese military to threaten Keshe Foundation supporters into imprisonment. We can release, you know me, I always release what I say. That was the biggest mistake Chinese military made against Keshe Foundation supporters in China, to put them in prison. By the approval of the leadership or not, they should have had more control over their army or people who pretend to be part of the military structure. We do not stand threats. We said we dismantled the communication, we did. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe?
No, no more question, Azar. Give other people a chance.
Okay, thank
Please,
you.
thank you. Any other question?
There's certainly other questions, Mr. Keshe. I was wondering.
Do we have the guys from London, and they tested the Maghreb system online? They usually listen.
If they're a viewer, they could put their hand up, and I could promote them to a panelist. I'm not sure. Do we have any names, or is it?
They come on the difference. 5 of them apparently there.
There's a couple of people that are viewers I can promote to panelists for their questions.
Okay, go ahead, please. The people from Maghreb, UK, if you guys are on the line, come on, because you can add to our knowledge.
We did have a question.
Your video.
Sorry. We did have a question from Cleve in the live stream. Who it's kind of a bit of a trick question in a way.
So you answer it. When it's tricky, it's your job.
Well, no, it's a clever.
Listen, you run a beautiful presentation every Wednesday, so it's your job. You can answer some.
Well, the idea here is Cleve's interested in getting an advantage on these wireless receivers, and he wants to get going on it and wants to know what to order. So he's asking what gauge wire for the wireless receivers. That's why I say it's a bit of a trick question. If they're even wire.
If it's wireless, doesn't need a wire. Why do you need the gauge?
That's a point. But does it have coils?
I think we answered it very cleverly between two of us.
Yeah, I think he's looking for some clues on what the wireless receivers are actually.
Yeah, if it's wireless, doesn't have a wire, why does it need a gauge? Maybe that enlightens you. Okay, the next question.
Okay, so we've got a couple of people. Don Graham, you've had your hand up. Do you want to ask a question?
Can I ask a question from Stanley in the background? Stanley, do you see the same problem as the other side as yesterday? Hello, Stan? Oh, he's busy with something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't want to just, we can try to unmute him if you like.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I guess not. Don, did you have a question there, Don Graham? I'm not getting, I'll try to unmute you. Hello, Don? It's not working. I think he's having trouble with his, oh, it's unmuted. Hello? Not hearing your audio, Don. Okay, there's Chad. I see the things going up and down, but we're not hearing audio from you.
Hello.
Yeah, something
Yep.
coming up.
Hello.
Okay, Chad,
You
go
good?
ahead.
Mr. Keshe, I wanted to thank you so much for your technology. I'm new to this Keshe technology, this plasma technology, and I've been using Himalayan GANS water on the arthritis in my legs, and it's working out just beautifully. And I wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome. It's the knowledge which comes from across the Keshe Foundation.
It's absolutely amazing. It relieves pain and it loosens my knees.
Have you become mobile?
It wasn't a severe case. I was still walking, but I was becoming hobbled, if you know what I mean, kind of hobbled up, taking little steps, and it allowed me to take full steps again.
What is your condition? How deep is that?
Well, it's a stiffness and an achiness.
Just in one joint or many joints?
In my knees.
Both of them?
Yes. More so in the right leg than the left leg.
Do you have any problem with the hip? Has it moved up or is it just localized in those two?
Just localized in the knees.
In the knees.
A little bit in the ankle.
One of the ways you can speed up the process is when you get this condition is you attract too much calcium towards the joint. What it means is, in a way, that the skin or the length of the lower leg and your femur is not creating the right vibration for absorption of the calcium to go through the bone structure. The field of the calcium is absorbed from the lymph, but the penetration becomes too big to go through the lymph, but it's still in the calcium state, and in a way it splits up towards the joint. One of the things you can do now that you are relieved of the pain, when you're sitting down or when you're walking, try to walk on your heel to toe. It's very important.
Yeah.
You know, when you're standing up, I've taught this a couple of years ago, it's on the record somewhere. Try to tap your heel. Try to put your heel down first heavily and go to your tip. Next step, the other heel the same. You have to change the vibration of the internal structure of the bone that takes the calcium into the bone and becomes part of your bone marrow. The calcium which you get with the arthritis and these kind of things is the calcium which is transferred from the bone, from literally the lymph to the bone, but is not in the strength or the size to be able to penetrate through the bone to become part of your bone marrow. So it literally slips up and it gathers in the joint area, and then it creates what we call arthritis. If you have reduced your pain, you haven't sorted out the problem fully. You have to sort the problem now. You have more freedom to walk. You can help yourself and retune the bones. So when you walk, try to put your heel, like, you know, you tap dance with the tip of your toes, the tap dancing. You do the same tap dancing with the heel. This sends a vibration into the bone which readjusts the frequency of the vibration of the bone structure to not to produce bigger size lymph, what you call plasmas, to the size which it needs. And then once you go through the process, whatever is calcium or the effects of the calcium fields on your joints will be dissolved in the body gradually. You get rid of it, Now you don't produce extra ones to become the creator of the future problems. So it is important, when you get arthritis like this, is the retuning the bone structure which is needed. Because in your, I draw it on the picture, I've done this before, you understand it easier maybe, is your bone structure is like a what I call a guitar string, and the vibration which these produce creates a plasmatic gravitational field which attracts the lymph into the bone. If one of these is out of tune, it's like a piano, it creates a different size. When it comes to the bone, it cannot go, so it slips up to the centers, which at the end is your joint, your knee. So in relieving the pain, you haven't solved the problem, because these strings are still out of tune. So by literally you tune, you know, your piano tuner comes and plays the string till it gets it, it tunes it. The vibration from the bone, it creates to adjust these. The older we get, the more these things become a bit clogged up with others. In a way, when you tap, you shrug off any cloggedness, and they open, they start working, and they absorb the right, what do you call it, plasma, to become the calcium into the bone marrow. So now you got rid of the pain, you can walk, but you haven't solved the problem. Try to tap by your heels. When you walk, try to walk from heel to toe, and try to make it solid, not just walking soft. You'll find out with this process, you create a much stronger amino acid for the, what do you call, your immune system. Your health gets better, because now you go back to like when you were 20, 30 years old.
Yes.
You have to follow the process fully, and then you guarantee a total reduction, and you'll find out you don't catch a lot of cold, you don't catch a lot of diseases like when you were young. It's just that you now retune it. The older we get, the less walk we do, and the less walk we do, it changes these, what I call tunes, string of the bone, and then one leads to another. And that's why the athletes stay healthy, because they run. That's why one of the best examples of these are boxers. They always jump and they go back on their heels. They always fall back on the heels to defend themselves. That falling back creates a lot of clearance in the muscle. It's not the way they jump on their toes when they practice. This moving backwards, the heels, gives you that strength. You see this with the high jumpers. If you look at the high jumpers, or if you look at the long jumpers, they always go back in their heel. And they always, if you and I jump that distance, we break our bones most probably. But in going back and they go forth, they go back and forth, they strengthen these, what I call the strings in the bone, and it creates much more stronger solid bone and a better structure for, I mean, what do you call it, the immune system.
Oh, interesting.
It's all connected to each other, and then you find out when you look at all the D cells and you look at all the B cells, you can all the T cells in the body, which is the main structure of the amino acid of the body of the man. They all have a common denominator, calcium, as the cornerstone of their structure. When you don't absorb the right calcium to become part of your bone marrow structure, you lose some of the strength of it, and because you are lower in the strength of the immune system, you become vulnerable to cold, you become vulnerable to other diseases. It's important for people past age of 45, 50 to be able, even if you can't do anything, you're sitting at a desk, you can strengthen the lower, but when walking heel to toe, you strengthen, you literally clean up any dirt between the strings, if you call it, if you say it that way.
So it's better. Sorry. So it's better to do more walking even.
Yes, but the walking, not to walk between the, when you put your heel down, try to put, especially at the beginning, you tap your heel and you go forward to the toe. It's
Okay.
important you walk back to the front, and with the tapping, it's just literally, you know, when you want to clean the carpet, you shake it, the dust comes out. You do the same thing between the strings in your bone. When you tap, you create a vibration in the bone that literally gets rid of anything which is clogged up, and that has tuned the, for example, a C to a D. Now you want to have a C only because, well, how your body needs it most. Now you get rid of the D, you know, you tune, you change the tune, and you only do it with walking.
Heel
If
to toe.
doctors, pardon?
Heel to toe.
Heel to toe, but when you put your heel down, you tap your, you know, you have to put it down with a force. You just create a shake, and you'll find out you become very healthy, but don't do it so hard that you can damage the knee and the ankle. You understand?
I follow you.
Just enough that you, when you're sitting down doing nothing, instead of tapping your toe like a musician, try to tap your heel. You'll find out you help your own health. It's part of the structure you need to do. I'm in near my 60s, and I tend not to walk much, but whenever I'm aware of, unknowingly, I deliberately walk from the hill because it allows you to receive the, you clean up the system more or less. When you're
Thank
young,
you.
you do a lot of it, but you increase your immune system, and that immune system being strengthened reduces possibility of cancer and other things in the body. Is one reason. Walking in man's life is the cornerstone of his health, because most of your bone marrow creates most of your immune system in your femur.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you recover fully.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question?
That's a funny
Yeah.
coincidence that I ended up injuring my right knee 4 days ago, actually, quite severely. So that
What did you do? Did you get kicked or did you kick?
no, I sort of fell off the deck, but part of me got caught on the way down, and it twisted my knee. I laid up. I'm able to walk on it, and it's not painful unless I move it in the wrong direction.
Yeah, just put some CO2 on it and you'll find out there'll be no pain.
Yeah, that's okay, but I need to, in a way, feel the pain so I know that what's going on with it and so on too. It's not irritating, so if it is a problem, I know exactly how to deal with it, which is, I also have been taking the CO2 GANS water and baths in CO2 GANS water as well. So, yep. And it's like it, in a way, and right now it's like it hardly happened. In a way, I'm thankful. I could have fallen on my head, and well, maybe that'd be better. Maybe I'd be better off that way. But I mean, I was headed that way literally, but my leg caught me from falling on my head. So I'm actually quite thankful.
Oh, the soul said, I still need the head and get the knee at the moment.
Somehow it said it's time to slow down a little bit. We've got. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, this is Flint.
Flint from United States.
Yes, from the United States. Yes.
Thank you very much for all your hard work, Flint.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. In extension to that question on the knee, what would be advisable if there's like no cartilage in the knee there, so it's like bone on bone, so it's really painful to walk, or can't even walk? What would be a good remedy to? You
can rebuild the cartilage. It's very easy. Building cartilage with the plasma technology is as easy as drinking water. I've done many times. But the only thing is you produce nano micro layers at a time. When you do it, you have to take the pressure off it. just for about 2, 3, 4 weeks. Try not to walk to rub what you produced. One of the best ways to do it is to get what is known the knee transfer braces, where you take the pressure off your knee, you allow the cartilage and everything else to be reproduced. It's a simple thing. You have your femur, you have your lower bone. It's a very simple plastic system with, now they use solid plastic here and here, and it has a strap there. You strap there. What happens, there's a joint here on the solid plastic. You transfer the weight of the body through the joints, and you give the bone a freedom, a joint a freedom to, you see it a lot of sports people wear, but you need it. Then what you need to do, you produce gans of CO2, gans of copper oxide. You need to understand the ratio of, you need another material which is a cartilage is made of, which is partially calcium based. You need to have a calcium oxide in there. You need zinc oxide because cartilage carries a lot of emotion. And you need a fair amount of CH3. And you just put it around the knee and you take the pressure off it. You take this system from the time you walk off the bed till you go back into bed. Make sure there is no weight on it. You allow the cartilage not only to be made, you make cartilage every day. The body, even when you don't have a cartilage, it still makes it, but because it's got so thin, everything is made, is dropped off. You speed up the process, but you give it a chance to build up. And then after 2 or 3 months, there is enough of it, not only made, it's not soft anymore, it's hard enough. 6 months is preferable. You should have no problem with the knee because you enhance the production and the body will carry on. All you need to do is to take the pressure off it and then create an environment to encourage the much more rapid production of the material. If you have ligament or damage with the knee, you need to add magnesium and into that mixture because tendons are different than cartilage. They have a magnesium mixture in them, and you need a fair amount of what you call magnesium in the mixture, because that's why the cartilage is very shiny color, it's not red, because it has certain amount of copper in it, but magnesium is part of its structure and creates that ligament.
Would having a bath with Epsom salts, which is magnesium sulfate, would that help?
You need a long term. It's got to be there constantly. Because when you got to realize, I learned this from a chiropractor, a very old chiropractor, he's dead now. He explained to me and Caroline the first time we met him, 20 odd years ago. He said the body is like a house. When you put the wrong foundation, everything else built on top goes wrong. You have to fix your toes all the time, your ankle, your knees, your hip, and then the rest look after themselves. When you have a problem, you have to go through all the process of full recovery, not just a few minutes. You have to allow the base to become solid, and the whole life of the man depends actually on your toes, and then your ankle, and then your knees. When you have a problem with the knee and you try to sort a little bit of it, the whole body has to move, the knee has to adjust, the hip has to adjust for that little change, and then the rest of the body has to adjust for the changes in that knee, and then the whole structure moves, and then you get more problem in the future. When you have a problem in the knee or ankle, make sure it goes through the full process, not just temporarily, just to get rid of the pain. You have to develop and allow what is damaged to be repaired fully. This is what most of the people have no comprehension of. I was teaching this to one of our Keshe Foundation team very recently. A lot of you women, I repeat this again every now and then that you understand. A lot of you women or men, especially women, wear these open sandals and you knock your little toe or your big toe or one of your toes. In being fancy looking, you get a clip of it. If you get that and you get a full pain of it, you have in 5 years to 10 years time start the process of the back pain and the disc problem. I explain this, I explain it every now and then because you have to understand that we have new people with us and they can protect themselves very easily. I have this on here. Okay. You have your toe, your foot is like this. I'm not a very good drawer. Big toe, the other toes, which is there. In the center of your body is made of two balance systems. You have a balance for your emotional part and you have a balance for your physical part. Your emotional part balance sits in your ears. Your physical part balance sits at the bottom of your foot. Is a nerve which goes right across it. And the shape of your foot. When you look at the foot of a woman, you know all the story you need to know about her. Caroline tells me you never look at people's foot, you know everything. Because the shape of the toe, the direction of the toe, the thickness, the sharpness, everything tells you about the soul of the man. Because it's the toe which dictates the foot. That's how the rest will be shaped. So what you have a shape, you have here, have damaged. When you clip this toe, you move the physical balance. This vein is a vein, it's literally like a neural vein, gets moved by a micro because of this movement. Now, when this move, without you knowing, this has to move, this has to move, this has to move. Now, this is your foot, and this is your knee, your ankle, your rest of the body, and it goes up. Now, this nerve here has moved a micron. The structure has moved. All this have to move to adjust this little movement. Now, the ankle has to move too, because the muscles have taken a slightly different position. You find out, maybe you get a twist ankle. When you get a twist ankle, because of this toe, or this toe, with the fancy shoes, you clipped your shoe with the leg of the chair. Now, this has moved. All the muscles here have to move, so the knee moves to make adjustment for this movement. Now, the hip has to be adjusted. Then it goes the spinal cord. Then you get a pain in your neck. Osteopaths and chiropractors never fix this. Fixing these means no pain here, no pain here. You don't need to go osteopath, you don't need to go to chiropractor. So, what you have to do, you have to fix this. Fixing this is very easy. You need somebody who loves you, and it's got two strong hands. You lie flat with your toes hanging up. This is your head. You hold, you start from the smallest toe. This is your 2 feet there. That's your foot, and the 2 feet there. You start from the small toe. You hold the toe, if this is the toe in a way. You hold the back of the toe with 2 of your fingers, the index finger and the second finger. And you put your thumb on the front, facing the face. Your thumb is on this side, your 2 fingers on this side on each toe. And you pull the toe directly vertically up towards you. And you hear a click. You go to the next one, you go to the next one, you go to the next one, you go there. And then you come back to the small toe and you do the same inside. When you've done that, what you do, you bring back this vein in line. But don't forget, it's got used to moving back again. So you have to repeat this process 2-3 times the first 2-3 days, and then once every day for a week or so, and then it goes back in its position. But now that you pull the toe up, you sorted out the toe, you sorted out this, you have come up to here, you fixed this part. Now you have to fix this part. This part has already moved. So what you do, you put your hand, one hand on the back of here, and one hand holding the foot, the same as you are. One hand here, and one hand holding here. You rock the knee a few times. Rock it, that you loosen the muscle, and then hold firm and pull the whole thing towards you with a huge, with a very full, powerful force, like you're trying to get the leg off the body. And then what you see, everything lines up. Lie in the bed for 5 minutes or so. Don't just do it and get up. Lie there, let the adjustment fit itself. Do it 2 or 3 times. Your sciatic pain goes, your back pain goes, your hip pain goes, your spinal pain goes. And if you repeat that once a year, once a month, afterwards, you continuously readjust yourself. Chiropractors, osteopath, never touch you. I teach them, but they never use it, because once they fix this, there is no more pain. You don't go back, there are no customers. So very simple, understanding the physiology of the body. And then when you walk, you always have this connected to this in a very funny way. The emotion through the soul, through the leg balance, works in a very effective way. The way you have the lung for your emotional side, which is the air side of the, what they call the atmosphere, the physical side has to adjust, and the balance between the two comes in these two systems. The emotion has chosen the, what we call the middle ears, to balance the what you call the emotional side. That's why it's not balanced, you go dizzy. If you're not balanced physically, you twist your ankle, you get the pain. So when the two are in balance, you are okay. If you get a dizziness and you lose balance, you understand that there are 4 points that are connected to each other. So when you have a cartilage problem with the knee, you have to understand somewhere in the past you have damaged the toe. You have to fix this while you're taking the pain off and you're wearing the braces. You have to understand everything has a process of action and reaction, but you look at the total, you just don't do it locally. Once you wear the brace on your knee to allow the cartilage to come, if you take it off and you still have this problem with the toe and with the ankle, you'll come back again. You said it doesn't work. You have to do this while you're doing the brace, and you're putting the pad to grow the cartilage and the ligaments.
Wow, thank you very much. That explains a lot.
Why, did you have or do they have a twisted ankle or a pain in the sciatic?
Yes, that's true too. Yes,
yeah. You have damaged, or they have damaged the toe, the little toe.
Yeah, my parents, yes.
Yeah, they've done it somewhere in the past. It takes 5 to 10 years to show it. Mm-hmm. It's a very slow process. The chiropractors don't like me because I teach this and they lose a lot of customers. The other thing is the same with your tooth. We repeat this continuously because we get more and more people. Just try with your children, even with your dog, with your cat, to feed them a block of cheese, a small amount of cheese, 5-10 grams every night before they go to sleep. Before you go to bed, eating a cheese, make it a habit of life. You will never see a dentist. Hardly ever, unless accidentally you break something or something goes very loose. You even strengthen the roots of your teeth with the transfer of the energy. The cheese, especially the hard cheese, releases chemicals in the mouth that stops the deterioration of the the chemical or the tooth or decay of the tooth. Even if you have even a hole in your tooth, you will understand it'll just repair itself, because the enzymes to kill the new cells are not there. So as the tooth makes new cells, they repair, they fill up the hole. It's very, very important. Taking just by accident, taking cheese is important part of creating balanced enzyme in your body, that those materials who will stop the growth of the cells to stop. We have a wrong image. I was explaining this to some scientists in the past few days. Maybe it's good to share with you too. We have a wrong, totally wrong image of our tooth and the operation of our tooth. Our tooth grows continuously. There is not that you lose it, it's used so it gets replaced. Continuously, the way you make your skin, you create layers of tooth. So when you stop the production of the things which can damage it, as it produces itself, it repairs itself. You find children have a hole in their tooth, and then you keep them just with the cheese every day, just before they go to bed, you'll find out it would not be there, the cavity will not be there, because the repair is constant. But there is something which is fundamentally never understood by the man. Tooth is a route to your life. It's the conversion point between the physicality and the man's life, physical life. We chew the matter. But in chewing, our teeth senses everything in its structure, what it needs to have to support itself when it becomes part of the digestion. Our teeth are the radars. They are the sensors between the physical life and our emotional life. This is what is important for us to realize. This is what is absolutely paramount. It's not just there for chewing. It's the receiver of information, and in root it transmits the emotion of what we eat into the physical body. This is important. And then you'll find out what we chew is important, how we chew is important, how we transfer the knowledge from the matter in chewing into the stomach is important. This is what we never understood. We just look at the tooth as part of something we use. It's the biggest receiver, transmitter of information between the matter state and the gans state. You can transmit anything and everything with your tooth. You breathe, if you breathe, the people who breathe through their mouth have a different behavior than the people who breathe their nose, because now the information is transferred in a matter state by the tooth, not by the senses of the nose. You see different behavior. You understand different culture. The way we breathe through our mouth is the way we control the absorption of the matter in our lungs. You find out people who feed themselves by breathing is the understanding of how the matter state will change when it's absorbed. If you breathe through your mouth and change the rate of the breathing through your mouth, you decide what food, how energy is absorbed through your lungs that you don't need to feed yourself. I explained this with a trick with a Indian guru who came to us in the Sansana 2 years ago. If you breathe through your nose, you absorb and digest different way the energy from the air. When you breathe through your mouth and the air touches your teeth, you change the conformation and transformation of energy. The air from the mouth is considered as part of the food. The air through the nose is considered part of the recycling of the energy in your emotion. And the way you eat food and the taste decides what enzymes is needed in your stomach to digest it. When you breathe and it touches your teeth, it touches your tongue, it behaves. Now the digestion system moves from the stomach into the lung. This has never been understood by the world of science. And that's why we can move you from eating food into breathing, and then from breathing into absorption of the energy without eating and drinking, or without breathing. Your teeth in breathing behaves in respect to your lungs, what is to be absorbed as food and energy from its environment. Teeth are one of the most important part of the life of a man. That's why when we get older, when we lose our teeth, we live different life. Because we lose and we rely totally on the stomach digestion, more or less, with the full information. Part of the information does not arrive because the antenna is lost. When you look at the shape of the tooth of a man or a child, you can tell about the psychology and behavior. The closeness of the teeth, the space between the teeth, the width, the wideness of the teeth explains a lot. When you look at the body of a man and you understand it the way I do, you just pretend not to because that's the way they like you to be, but you know everything about it. You look at the toe of a woman, the ankle of the woman, the toe of a man, an ankle of the man, the feet, the fingers, the teeth, the position of the eyes. You can tell everything about them. And this tooth is very important because if you, I'm nearly 60, I lost only one tooth in my life, the rest is all mine. But the only thing is, when I was little, my mother used to say, you're going to be very, very thick because you eat too much cheese. But unknowingly, I used to eat half a kilo of sugar every couple of days, but about half a kilo of cheese at night or during the day. And coincidentally, has saved me from losing any teeth. I have a lot of peeling because of the sugar, but on the other hand, a lot of saving of life. At my age, I carry more or less full tooth. But the dentist won't tell you that, because then there is nobody on the chair, there is no dentist. This is what I say, if the dentists were correct and teach it, people go to them when they need them, and this is what I need. I come with a sack of sugar. That's what I can pay for you to look after me. Or I have this, do you want me to clean your garden, or do you want me to sew a chair for you? Learn, these are little tips which is lost in the history of the man, but if you follow it, you understand the reason behind it. Now we gave you the food, we have to teach you, but you have to look after your physicality in a very simple way in the matter state too. Any other question? We're becoming nearly 12:36.
Hello, Mr. Keshe.
I was going to say there's always more questions, Mr. Keshe, but we should try to wrap things up fairly soon here. I think we've gone 3 hours and a half.
Yeah. Please make sure those of you who are going to Ghana complete your process. Those of you who want to present papers in Rome, please send it to where you make the reservation. Say what you want to present paper. We'll contact you. Just go through reservation on the Rome reservation is already available. The Ghana, we are trying to process those applications which has arrived from outside Ghana for security reasons. And if you want to be a doctor, please fill in the forms because it has to be done. But Ghana, we close the application in next week or so. You have to complete it. And the most important thing is some 56 people, 50 odd people applied to be Mojans, to be part of the Mojan program. Please complete the process by next week or two regarding the payments and full submission, that we can advise you where to attend for the training.
Okay, there was something that was brought up earlier, and many people have had questions about, which is regarding how can I contact somebody in my area that's part of a Keshe group that I can, discuss things with, or get together and that kind of thing. And
they are getting community set up. That will announce. We'll bring people who are setting the community, Keshe Foundation communities, to explain this. There are Keshe Foundation teams set up in different languages. Just we try to add to it, and we'll see what can be done. There are literally Keshe Foundations in every country in the world.
Mm-hmm. And I understand
you just got to look for them on the internet in your own language, and you'll find them. I know Keshe Foundation Turkey just been established recently.
Mm-hmm. Vince might have some information about that. Also regarding workshops, I understand there's going to be a new thing happening with getting people together so they can have workshops. And
yeah, the workshops needed a bit of setting up. Farhad is behind it with Vince and Kevin Blondale. They made the videos, and everything else is being announced very soon. I hope in next week or this week.
Okay.
And I was just told that in 2 weeks' time you'll have the first USA workshop in the United States, and just look in your language on the Keshe Foundation. You'll find them. I have to inform you. We just keep on telling you. If you go on the Keshe Foundation, it says Keshe Foundation scam.com. This is set up by the guy called Kuminar in Singapore, in Qumran. Yeah, he is part of what we saw the standing group, and we informed. We've been after this guy for 10 years to find him. He was brought in by Red Circle into operation of the Keshe Foundation. Initially as a child, pretending to be, but we knew he was a pedophile. We couldn't get him. We couldn't find his exact address. In arresting of the Sterling and opening of his Facebook, we saw his because they are open with each other because they exchange children. It was revealed in that section his work office. So we informed the officers of the company he was working. They checked his computer, and he was more or less sacked, and we're waiting for his arrest for the same reasons the Allens and the others. And he set up the Keshe Foundation scam.com, and you see all of his fingerprint everywhere. So when you go to internet and you see a scam or whatever, truth about the Keshe Foundation, all facts about, these are all the pedophiles paid to be there, and they lost their leader. The guy who was giving them free children now is in prison. So they set up facts about the Keshe and the truth about the Keshe and whatever. We've seen Alan going down. Now we see we can publish the email from Mr. Kumran that he got sacked by his office. They found all the children's pictures on his computers as office work because the company had a subsidiary in the United States. They didn't want to be involved or get involved in these kind of things. They were transferring sick children from the country into a state, and they saw how sick children were given to the abusers. And so when you see cashscam.com, look, Mr. Kumran, he is sacked. We can go to his company. We give you all the details of where he used to work. They found huge number of children pornographic on the office computer. He was using his time for other things with Mr. Alan, and the same with the guy who's put up the facts about the cash. These are all part of the same ring. Now you can ask Mr. Kumaran if he's got a job. He hasn't got a job. He's waiting to be arrested. So when you go to your countries, look where people put. They even went and opened the Keshe Foundation in Facebook in Farsi, trying to put things on, and the Iranian government handles them very, very nicely. So we don't have opposition. We have people who are paid to create opposition, or they lost their links to abusing children. Now we become a scam. The same thing with what you see. Be very aware. Not everyone on your links you find out are supporters that are paid to destroy all sorts of things. Find the correct people in your community and your organizations. As I said, I congratulate Keshe Foundation. Turkey was established and they started working a few days ago. We were present. Norwegians started teaching yesterday, and we see others. Teach each other. We share freely. We share the knowledge freely. You share the knowledge the same way. And do not force. Give them a gift. Give them a gift of knowledge. Give them a gift of a patch with a pain. They will follow and teach the others. It's a disease, and the disease of it is love and being able to serve. When you have a person with a pain and you give them a pad, even doesn't matter what they deny in what the technology is, when they don't suffer, they see the truth. They see there is something, and they start becoming the next step, teaching the others. Keshe Foundation, if you don't have it, you can't find it, you set it up yourself, you find out the others join you, and you become part of the others who are there. You don't find it, set it up, and we support you. There's a huge structure, you need help. We're setting more and more structures. We had some 65 people at the working level of the Keshe Foundation offices and management. We found out more or less 30 of them now were people who were using the foundation and the trust of the foundation. So they have been released of their donating their time to the foundation, and we come down to the core of about 36 people, very highly efficient. The rest we rely on the support of the people who operate around the foundation for their work. If you are a manufacturer or submitted a manufacturing application, we are considering it. The problem is you want to manufacture, majority of you want to go for the energy production. Let us complete the solid state wireless transmission, and we let you to manufacture. It's no use you getting involved at this stage to make a maglev unit and hybrid units, and in a few weeks time be what we call obsolete. Is our ethos. We are there to work correctly and to do the job according to what needs to be done. Regarding the other aspects of development, we have set up, as I said, industrial application of the Keshe Foundation in Italy. If you are in the agriculture or whatever, please contact the foundation. There is more to be done than the maglev system. There's more to be done than the energy system. Agriculture, decontamination, air pollution, space technology. We are looking in the next few weeks. If you're in a travel agent business, we are looking for those who can come to an agreement with the Keshe Foundation for a space travel. We opened the Keshe Foundation, what we call like travel space agency, for space agency to sell accommodation and tickets in the next few weeks. We are getting ready for it. We announced this some time ago. Now we are on the verge of the change done by the people that the governments can't hide it. So we are on target to achieve 2016-2018 target. Please, if you are in all sorts of milk production, if you are in food production, we have developed we are looking and developing a new technology for a lot of these sites, for decontamination in the hospitals. A lot of new technologies will be released. Is Keshe Foundation, as of last week, we have gone into production and the materials will be on the sale. The oil and like bath soap and the oils for cancer, or for, as we said, the Himalayan salt. These are all with the permits, with the C certification, that you can buy the products. The Keshe Foundation, different arms of the foundation, different agreements. Now it's coming to fruition. In Italy, from next couple of weeks, you can buy plasma drinking water in the shops. We'll start the marketing, and we can we'll literally export it out of Italy with the licensee certification approval. We have received it. It's just that the labeling has gone into commercialization. These are the things which is growing rapidly, and we look at the other partners to come in and develop all aspects of it. The development and the sale of what I call auxiliary facilities like toys and others will be coming up into the line in the next few months, and we'll release it. Those of you who want to teach Keshe Foundation as a workshop, hopefully by Monday, we've done all the work. You can go on the Keshe Foundation and order the coils and the packaging and the maggraph pieces for you to use for your teachings. We have received the pricing from Arizona. The pricing from Italy will be completed by tonight. You can buy all the parts if you want to make maggraph systems, everything according to the standard we produce. Each factory in each continent will supply that continent. We don't need to come to an American standard of shipping it from Europe. Arizona will supply the whole of US and South America and Canada. Italy will supply European continent. Ghana will supply Africa. We do the same in Asia with Chinese. So we are distributing, we're getting more and more structure in. You can order it and develop it. And the same, we are ready to what I call expand in a very rapid way. We had to build the foundation. We had to bring people we trust. I thank Kevin Blundell for hard work in the background. The same with Vince and Rick and Stanley. And I thank our security people, especially those who work in the background to make these things possible. But it's become a huge family, and we need to understand each other's strength and support their strength, and give a hand to cover the weaknesses that become a strength. The facility of the Keshe Foundation in the next few months will become, in a way, as one family. You pay taxes only according to what you want to do. You can work in the factories of the Keshe Foundation, and we give you everything free the same way as you to contribute to it. You learn and you teach more. Come to the factories, learn how we make things, and go out and teach. The workshops are kind of the factory for us, because you learn and you teach, and you create a position in teaching. You satisfy your soul, and you can create the income for yourself that you can see can help you to growth, to bring peace into the family. We see a lot of people around the foundation who work full-time now, and the balance of the work is not to come to steal, come to share, you'll receive more. Thank you very much. I hope we can share knowledge. I hope by next week or the week after we show you, we promised to show the, what we call the wireless generator on the 20th at the same time in Ghana at Vatican. We're organizing it to be shown at the house of the His Holiness the Pope, And we'll see, and what will come next, we'll show at the same time in Los Angeles, Armenia. If you are workers and you understand our work, contact us. We do not mind simultaneously sharing it with all the nations. We have to do certain checks because we would like to be secure that we don't get interruption. The Keshe Foundation Russia, we ask you to contact the Keshe Foundation webmaster, that we give you the blueprint for production of the generator wireless system that you presented in Moscow at the same time as us. We look at the Keshe Foundation India to contact. We would like to give you the blueprint to produce at the same as us. So we celebrate the release of the wireless generator together. We appoint the time and the date. We have agreed on the 20th. If this is for a function which is set up in for us for Vatican, we can always change it, bring it forward or backward. And it is important that with what we say, energy in exchange for peace, we force what we call governments to come to peace as the biggest problem of the energy we sort as Keshe Foundation for Humanity. This is the target. We try to keep limited according to, we know the people who are working in the background, and we will show the production of the energy units simultaneously in Japan. Keshe Foundation Japan will show the Maghreb system, what we call wireless energy production at the same time as us, because the Japanese needed more, that they don't bring into commission more reactors back in just because they need energy. Thank you very much. We call it the day. It's nearly 1 o'clock. And we'll see each other next Thursday. You got to understand our private teaching with the doctors, agriculture, and the others still carries on. It's not just a Thursday morning. I try to attend some of the private teaching classes as we get time, but in the past 24 hours, I've taught nearly 15 hours of what you call it, teaching. So the teaching doesn't stop as we are not in the front line. There is a lot happening in the background. Now we need to structure the depth of it that it stays solid. Teach each other, take pleasure in teaching each other, and share knowledge freely, because you'll be gifted more. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you very much. That was a good session, and lots of great information came out for people to dwell
I get
upon.
paid this time, please. You're reducing my wages every week.
Well, you can't get much lower than 0, so you get to break even every week.
Thanks very much. All the best.
And I don't ask more question.
Thank you.
What
Next
was
week.
I said I'm not gonna ask too many questions next time.
Thank you,
great.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, and that's the end of the 138th Knowledge Seekers Workshop for September 22nd, 2016. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Okay.